Hello everybody. We might be fighting the clouds a little bit tonight, so we'll have to see how we get on with that. But it's looking clear at the moment. So if you are just joining us, we are doing our live UFO, UAP, Skywatch night, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So do help us tonight. Look out for the strange and anomalous in the night sky. We're waiting for the blue to go. That is the last bit of daylight that this very sensitive lens is letting in there, so we can see more and more objects. But as the sun moves further around, we are going to see more and more objects, more and more stars and all their colours there. Dan is in, we're all good there. Inspector Morse 2, we've got some tracked on the screen already there. Look at this one. Oh, it's quite faint. The tracker's managing to pick it up though. Oh, and we've got another one that's coming down there as well. So the tracker is, oh, it's a nice big one up here. Is here to identify moving objects there, plot their course, and if they are a satellite, they're going to be following a straight, consistent course at a consistent speed. And yeah, if they deviate from that, it should go red, and identifying the ones that are a little bit anomalous there. But that bottom one that's going across the screen in a minute, that will go red. The tracking hasn't quite got the alignment there. We're still refining it. How are we doing there? Leanne coming in with the gifts. Appreciate that, guys. It all goes back into the stream. How are we doing to Paul? Enjoying your weekend there. Baseman as well. Good to see you. And R4, here we go again. Buckle up. Is tonight going to be the night? I see a few clouds in the sky, but hopefully it won't be too bad there. Carl is in too. Good to see you there. Astro Gazer, good night there. How are we doing tonight? We are all good. We are all good. I'm getting on top of all the little problems and the little bugs. I think, not to say there won't be any tonight, but I think I'm slowly understanding a little bit more about the technology. Hopefully we can keep things smoother there as well. Adele is in, and R4 coming in with the likes. Appreciate that, guys. It's the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that stuff there that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we can get on the phenomena, sharing our experiences and our knowledge, I think the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. LJ is in, and oh, how are you doing tonight? Right, bouncing back over to the tubes. Where did we get to there? And Spare Rib is in as well, and Paul there, thank you for gifting a membership there. Do remember to thank Paul for that one. Who got it there? Raven. Good. Well, you'll be able to join us on our deep dive. So we'll have one, I think it's going to be Thursday, our next one there. And at the minute, unless we get another file drop, it's probably going to be one of the historic reports that we're going to be reading through from the US government in the 50s and 60s there. It's really good. It's like doing our UFO homework. There's a little thank you to our members and Patreons and things like that. We've done some interesting ones in the past, whistleblower accounts, leaked documents, images, all of that stuff relating to the phenomena. Helen is in there. Oh, is it very quiet? We have changed the things. Let me, 2 seconds. Can go up. Is that a little bit louder for you there? A little bit louder? Is that a little bit better? I was changing all the settings tonight, so is that a little bit louder for you there over on the tubes? Probably very similar over on the TikTok. Where did we get to? And Carl there coming in, feeding Alan with the gifts.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Thank you for that one. Yeah, how is that any? That's better. Yeah, I was trying to get rid of, got a little bit of interference on the line, so I was tackling that problem as well. But always muck up the settings there. Carl as well, thank you for the extra gifts. So it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. A little bit of movement on the screen tonight already. As that gets darker, we're going to see more and more of those objects, and hopefully some of them are going to be anomalous. We did have a couple of interesting ones last night, and the night before that we did see some anomalous movement. We're still not quite fully figured that one out. Anyone else been eaten alive by mosquitoes? I normally don't now. Since I'm a smoker, they don't like me. The missus gets bitten alive. They don't like the taste of my blood. But I did get one the other night, which is so rare these days. Ulcers as well. So, you know, it's not all bad for us. Did you see your new video? Oh, I haven't. Oh, I haven't yet seen it. Sorry, I've been deep in things at the minute. I'm slacking on all the things there. Is it the Discord? I'll have to double check if it is. And 4-0 to England. We're for a substitution squad right now in the third place of the game. Is that... So we're leading 4. That's a surprise. Aren't they out though? Didn't we lose the thing? Oh, it's on your TikTok. No, I haven't seen. I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok itself normally. Is it on the messages? Because if I go on TikTok like a normal user, that's it. I'm gone. I'm sucked in. I can't get off. It's just too addictive for me. So I have to kind of be good. So I tend to miss them unless I'm outright tagged or messaged in them. Then I do check them every couple of days. You get bitten so much, and I react so badly. Inspector, honestly, like the ones I do get now, I am so just constantly scratching. I'm not very graceful with the subtle inconveniences of life. I'm trying to be better. I think to my old man, just swearing bloody hell, fucking this like that, and I'm definitely turning into my old man quite fully there. Oh yeah, if you want it on the Discord, then I have a chance of catching it. Thank you for that one. That is how I keep up to date with all of you guys. And we're playing the third place against France. I'll play for third place against France. France will be fourth ASAP. Well, I mean, third place, it's a place, isn't it, there? Anastasia there as well. Thank you for the share. Very much appreciate that. That is how we reach you all. It's how the platforms know that other people might be interested. And then people come in and they share their experiences with the highly strange. That, for me, has changed my understanding of what might be going on more than even seeing the sightings and the strange things in the night sky. Maybe it's a little bit too sensitive. Let me turn that one up a little bit. The tracker there. Not that high. Let's go down to that one. Yeah, there goes now, tracking correct dots. But yeah, you never know who's going to come in, what experience with the phenomena that they are going to share. That, for me, as it has changed my understanding of the absolute most. They're even more than the strange things that we see. Oh no, it's still having a little bit of an issue with the tracking. It's right on the edge. It's difficult at the minute when it is as light as it is still in the night sky. We're not getting the full contrast in, but that will change over time. Still getting a few tracked objects. So yeah, we do appreciate all the tapping away and all that jazz. How we make you all, how we build our little club up there. Where did we get to in the chat? But we are using all our throwaways, and France is doing the same. Oh dear. And I'm on 2 lives at the same time, multitasking. Have you thought there, X, like 3 or 4 maybe? If you've got those VR headsets, you could have like 5 on the go at once. You'll need more hands for the tapping. How are you doing? How's your weekend going there? And Amanda there, evening, just finished work on a Saturday. That is cruel. There, put your feet up. Grab a nice warm, not a warm drink, it's still too warm today. Grab a nice cold drink there and sit back and tell us what you can spot. How was work? Was it okay? And what's the user on the server? So I'm Yogs Sam on that one. And we're in there. How you doing, Harko? It's almost Sunday in 9 minutes, but we're getting earlier. We're getting slightly earlier. But I suppose time differences don't change that much. There, Gaza is in. How are you doing there? And midges in Scotland don't care if you're sick or not there. Well, I suppose, you know, with the Scottish, they probably wouldn't have the selection choice. They've had to evolve to do it. Oh, look, we've got that red one. Look how far off that got that alignment there. Is that a curved alignment, maybe? Might have to start changing some of the ways that it calculates it, but it's not anomalous as far as we can see at the second. But see how this one, it catches it, look, and it is a nice steady deviation. But we caught one last night and one the night before that actually it started off correctly, but then it went over the line and then under the line. Now, I can imagine with the curvature of the Earth that we're going to get that deviation like you see there, just goes straight off, but not the curving over and under the line. I can't quite wrap my head around that one. So maybe we're going to be starting to see more anomalies. Just because it's red doesn't mean it's necessarily broken. The red one does mean that it is more anomalous, and point your eyes to it to see if we've got anything going on there. Thank you. Oh, I will check that one out as well there. It's busy tonight, triple the customers. And only, oh my God. Does that mean only you for the tips though, Amanda? Where are we? And is it Mayak? How do I pronounce that one? M-A-A-I-K. Mike? I'm probably totally butchering that one. Spell it out in a bit for me. Yeah, do tell me how to pronounce that one, and so I can get it right. It's important to get people's names right. There, how are you doing there? Much love from the Netherlands. Good to have you in. How are your skies tonight there? And Paul, England are playing very well. They're after the 3rd place, but it's a shame that they're not going after the 1st. More chance of meeting an alien on Tinder than winning the cup. It does seem it this way. What do they spend all that bloody money on? There, and XM there, how are you doing? Cool Spare, exactly there. And Gandalf is in the house. Good to see you there, sir. So, right, where are we? We know we're up to date there. Let me just tweak the brightness as we're going, guys. I'm needing to just constantly up the brightness ever so slightly as it gets darker so we can maintain all of what we are seeing tonight. Living Light is in. Make. I'll probably get it wrong still, but I'm going to try that. Make? Is that anywhere near it? Am I getting the last part wrong? And one and only a UFO, a live hunt there. How are you doing, Living Light? Good to see you there. And Jamesy, good to have you in. Gemma 2 there. Okay, something I can watch and listen to in the background whilst watching a return of Columbo. I'll rerun of Columbo, God, my eyes. You have a great radio voice. Thank you there, Gemma. You won't be saying that about an hour in when you hear me non-stop yapping, but very kind of you there. Enjoy Columbo for us there. And look, if we get excited, you'll you know to have a look, see if we get something on screen there. Good to have you in. And was too smoky in Virginia to see the sky last night, but the wind came today and blew all the Canadian smoke out today. The sky should be clear again tonight. Fingers crossed. I'm still blown away by how far that smoke can reach you there, XM. The new crop circle, same location as July the 11th in Wiltshire, the same field. Wouldn't have thought they'd have enough time for the crops to recover and change. That is very interesting. There are a few places that do get double and triple hits. I was looking at a historic map here of the town and where they had, I think it's not even updated to anywhere near recently, I don't think it's been updated in the last 30 years, but some of the same sort of areas were getting a lot of activity there. Meiku. Meiku. I think. Meiku, is that how you pronounce it? Right, I'm going to try and remember that one. Apologies for my ignorance of all of the language. Look, I struggle with English, so it's always going to be bad, but good to have you in. Where are we? Down the road there. Janie is in. How are you doing, Janie? Good to have you in. Oh, the ISS has popped up. 39 minutes until we get an ISS pass. Leanne is up at the moment, so maybe we can point the camera around and catch the ISS too. There, so guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. They're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right down the road from Stone Henge, but bang in the middle of crop circle country. Lots of strange and anomalous things here in the night sky over the years. Tonight should be no exception there. So do let us know what you spot. There, we have got the tracker on tonight, but if there is something that missed, or you think one is passing and it needs more attention and we're not giving it to it, do put the grid reference in the chat there, and the mods, if you're lucky, will highlight the interactive grid, drawing my attention to it, and we'll zoom in on it there. Thank you there. Make you appreciate that. There, see that one, see that's the alignment that's gone wrong. It's gone straight and it's gone off in one angle, but we've seen it before where it'll go like this below and then it will curve up and over the top as well. Curvature of the Earth, I can imagine it going off in one direction. We've got our calculations wrong, but not the wave there, not that. That is very, very strange indeed. Love you watch every night. It's very much appreciated there. Honestly, like I keep thinking, oh, I should probably, you know, take some evenings off. And the missus, oh, you got to take some evenings off. You got to. But when I don't do this and hang out with all you guys, I feel out of place. I feel lost. This is my social interaction. So I love hanging out with you all here, even if you are just quietly in the background there. Oh, you can't hear the crackles here on our... Thank you, Leanne, for checking that one. Looks like we've solved that one temporarily for now. Let's not take it for granted. Something will change, and then there'll be another bloody problem. Harco coming in with the shares there as well. Appreciate, guys, the shares, the likes, the tapping away. And over on the tube, that proper like button at the top of the video really, really does help. Meet more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. Build our little club up, our little community, because you never know who's going to come in and what story that they are going to share. Where did we get to? Which direction is it floating past? You know what? It's meant to tell me on one of my new features. Right, it'll tell us when it gets closer to the time. We get a little pop-up and it'll tell me which direction to point. It's probably going to be the opposite of where we are tonight. I had it over here because I was avoiding some clouds. So we might spin the camera back around in a minute. And how you doing, Kate? There, you're semi-present tonight there. You've put out 10k words today there. You're on it. Get to it. I love that. Hey, if you're on a creative project, Kate, make sure that gets your focus. That is very, very cool. When do we get to read it? The steamy adventures of Alan in space. Isn't that what it is? Yes, Alan. Kate's writing a book on you. Could we maybe get some music in the background? Something quite... can you not hear the music? You should be able to hear that there is music. If I shut up for a second... Can you hear that? Or is it just too quiet where it is? I did change the settings tonight, so maybe it's screwing around with that. So I'll try and, if you can't hear that, or if it's too quiet, I will put it all up. Means you'll have to turn my voice, turn the volume down slightly for it there. And Travi as well, evening, how are you doing there? Depends if I ever finish this one. Ultimately, they're all good. Even if you don't finish them, they're all practice runs. They're starting to build it all up there. Where did we get to with the gifts? Janie, Leanne, Carl there, and Denise, thank you for the gifts there. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Oi as well. Big Ted as well coming in with the likes. So much appreciated there. And Amanda, oh my God, seems as if the fairy visited whilst I was at work and all my crap has vanished there. Either that or you've been robbed. Oi coming in with the gifts, and Liberty.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for that as well. All goes back into the stream. Feeding Alan. Nice. Something soothing. Astronomical sounds are playing there. I can't have your AirPods on too high at the volume there because I can't really stay up this late. Oh no worries there. Oh, so guys, over on the TikTok, I did change the sound settings, right? Should I put the volume up? It means my voice goes up as well as the background music, because in my ears the balance is quite close and there. But so if I amp it up, maybe you'll hear it then. But then it's going to do. Tell us what you think it should do, mate. You know what? Ignore that. I'm going to listen to myself. And I'm just going to give me 2 seconds, and I just want to hear what I sound like to get the levels right. No, the bloody crackle's back. I can hear the music, but yeah, the crackle's bloody back. There we go. Turn the volume down on that one. So, bloody thing. Where's that? I thought I'd solved that earlier. Absolute pain in the arse. That'll be tomorrow's job to try and tackle even more. Let's turn the brightness up a touch more so we can make sure we're seeing everything. Then we'll finish up with the TikTok chat. Let's just get that over the line for coloration there. Start to see some of the colours of those stars there. Dodo, how are you doing there? Thank you for the gifts. It all goes back into the stream. Thanks to subs, the members, super chats, and all of that jazz there. Helping us improve what we're doing. And the life and times of Alan, the interstellar green alien. It's just the sordid adventures of Alan as he travels the universe. Also, if I need to, I can hear my surround. Makes sense. That I get what you mean. I get what you mean. That takes me back. Evening Doodle, and where are we? Down here as well. Okay. You can hear the background music. Thank you. Can you hear the crackling? Because I was bloody so frustrating. I got rid of that earlier. So Windows Update has introduced that, and I've tried reinstalling the drivers. I've tried swapping the cables over. I've tried separate sound cards. Pain in the ass. If you see me on during the day tomorrow, it's because I'm troubleshooting the audio and I need to do it live to kind of hear it. The crackle comes and goes. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. There must be a way to tackle that one. There'll be some more things I can text there. Thank you for the heads up there. It's Sunday for you now there. A slight crackle. Yeah, it's bloody annoying, things like that. My job is in audio. I should be able to fix something like that. Anyway, where did we get to over on the tubes there as well? It's all right at your end, thank you, Spare Rib there. And Liberty, what's up? Been here from the start there, but putting telescope together. Is that the new one you got there? That looks very, very cool. Got to play with the toys there. And nice music in the back. You can hear it perfectly. Love that. And how are you doing, Chris, as well? Good to see you there. Not sure about the vacuum music. Makes me go to sleep. That was our first choice. Did Alan say thank you? Living Light?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was our first choice of just spacey music, and yeah, it worked out. We've not needed to change it. Everybody likes that one. Alan's going to release it as a single at some point there. Anyway, guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch night, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of strange things in these skies over the years. Do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight, and if you've had an experience with the strange, we'd love to hear about that one. But make sure you're following and subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we are on pretty much every night, and we've got a lot of clear skies ahead of us with this heat wave. So we're going to be doing lots of these sky watches. But when the clouds do roll in again, I thought it might have been tonight, we do an alien radio signal hunt. We haven't done one in a while. Well, we're listening out on the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET's out there, that's where they'd put the message where the wow signal was heard. And when the moon's up and I can be bothered, it's again, that's not been a while as well. It looks like that. And we see some awesome things up there. It's always impressive looking at the moon. The tracker is going, so it's trying. No, I think it's a bit too sensitive tonight. But yeah, let me just turn up the tracker a little bit more there, so it's only going to hopefully get those ones. I need to turn the brightness up a touch. Let's get that contrast just right. So yeah, so we're going to start to identify and track. Why is it not picking up those ones? Let's turn that down a bit. See if it picks up those ones, because yeah, there we go, starting now. Yeah, so they start identifying or trying to identify movement and lock on and then track it across the screen. Now it's a little bit too sensitive there, I think, because it's picking up some of the static. So let's try at 130. Anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. Do say hello and let us know where you're all watching from there. And Janie from Texas, I love a little bit of Texas there. And Maidens in again, how are you there? Terry too. And yeah, fingers crossed, Altair will find a camera next week to help with the showgraph. Thank you, that'd be really cool. I'm curious to see how those look. I've never even considered those sorts of cameras for something like this. So I'm excited to see how we can play around. I think about how we connect it. Is it going to be, is it HDMI connection? Because I have got an active HDMI cable that goes out that far. So anyway, that'll be interesting to figure out. So much appreciated if that happens there. It's 5 p.m. in Texas there. I always forget these time differences are so vast. Every now and again I have to jump on international calls for work. And the US is fine. I can stay on a little bit later, but it's the Australians where it's like all around the other way. Up at 1 a.m. for a call. That does me in. There we go. The tracker has locked onto 2. Right. It's designed to try and identify the movement, predict its path, or it's lost it there. It's too faint for it to hold on to, sadly. But it's just logging into this one here. There we go. So it's just predicted its path, and it's going to track it along. If that path, as I zoom back out, if it stays on course there, it doesn't do anything strange, then it will stay green. If it does do something anomalous, then it will go red. But this one is already, it's got the tracking slightly wrong on this one, as you see here. It's got in this little gap, so it hasn't got the alignment quite right, so that will go red. Oh, there we go, as it deviates from it there. Or is this going to be one? Oh no, this might actually be, doesn't look like it's getting further. Is it going to go back in? Or it's steadying out. So remember that, that could be one to watch. If that goes under again, that could be very, very interesting. It does look like it's going down a little bit, doesn't it? Again, how far zoomed in we shouldn't see really the curvature of those things. Whoa! Okay, no, it lost the tracking on that last bit. That was still an interesting one. Not quite slam dunk, but interesting there. Print the cable, USB 3 or to HDMI. Oh, so it has a direct HDMI out. That's even easier if it does. There. Interesting. Some of them are like, as you imagine, like, you know, these things are curving around the Earth. We're taking a short sample, so that curvature is very, very subtle. Not something we should really be able to notice, but that's where I think the actual tracking is getting that misalignment from. It's not necessarily calculating perfectly for that curvature. Very frustrating, but you know, if it is the curvature there, you're not going to see it kind of curve out and then come back down itself. It's just too far, sort of like, you know, too small a patch of sky to see that one. To see someone go curves fully and then sometimes goes under the line again. Very, very interesting there. And the ISS is due soon. Yeah, apparently it is 28 minutes, is that? I can't see. It's so small on my screen. 28 minutes, 26 seconds, something like that. It should flash up and tell us the direction. And we'll see if we can get Leanne in and I can bounce downstairs to point the camera in the correct location. Where did we get to? Harco coming in with the gifts there. Oh, and DJ Lethal as well. And Nero too. Thank you guys for all of those. Really, really massively appreciated. So it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. Should we turn up the brightness a touch more? We get in there. We are losing, aren't we? That last bit of daylight. Oh, that's a little bit too washed out. You're losing that last bit of daylight, and therefore we're going to see more stars, more of the colours of those stars, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic clarity as long as those clouds do hold off for us tonight. Where did we get to? There. Lethal is in. Cackling Sam's bowl of Rice Krispies, just subtly like that. TM, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? And Chief, there, New York, state or city? Because I don't think we've had anybody from the city. That is pretty cool. Seen anything strange your way there? Because you're not too far, are you, from Pennsylvania over there? And that's going to be Kecksburg. That was an interesting crash there. Again, something definitely crashed. What it was is what's up for debate, but very interesting cat. If you've not looked into it, it looked like a giant acorn apparently. And there's been lots of people, civilians reported seeing that crash. They were there on the ground, first responders, things like that. The service personnel that apparently transported the craft have come out and said, yeah, no, there was something strange about that. The guards on the gate for the local airbase, I think it was, that stored it overnight after that first day, they've all come out. There's lots of individual touch points of people confirming there was something in that crash there. And Robbie Star, how are you doing there? Good to have you in. How are the skies in London there? And Denise there, good evening from the Vale of Glamorgan in South Wales. Do love that. Wales, a big history of the highly strange there as well. Again, have you seen anything in those skies? 6 p.m. now for you there, Chief. So what are we here? We've just gone 11 p.m. here in the UK. So yeah, we are just 8 minutes past 11. I can never remember the time zone. Some people can. And Stephen as well. Which direction are we facing at the moment? There's too cloudy over the Midlands. Yeah, there's a few clouds that luckily they cleared. We are pointing quite far east at the minute. And speaking of which, there's a cloud coming in. So that's a good excuse for us to pause the tracker because it's going to have a shit fit. Why if I do that one whilst I move the... But let's move the camera around. Hold on to your hats. Let's get Vega in shot. See if we can avoid that cloud for a little bit there. Righty-ho. Oh, right on the edges there. So, still a wisp of cloud, but let's start that tracker. Okay, let's turn up the brightness a touch. Not too much there, but we're missing it around the edges a little bit there, aren't we? So, what you're seeing tonight, this big, beautiful one here, big purple one, is Vega, about 26 light years from us here on Earth, burning much hotter, much brighter than our star. Look, it's your classic triangular star there. I'm joking, that's just the lens causing that with the light. Yeah, triangular star there. This one is Deneb, this one right here. I'm not sure how far Deneb is. It about 600? When I looked, it was a lot further than I thought there. So that's why Vega is so bright. It's a lot fucking closer to us there. Where did we get to? So now we're pointing... Ooh, it's hard to tell with that one. We might be pointing southeast at the minute. And we've reached the goal as well. Thank you guys for that. And Lou there, what's the strangest thing you've ever seen? Ooh, either the triangular formation... so the three dots, like, you know, moving, but as it moved, it appeared to block out the stars behind it, implying there was like a shape, a craft potentially behind it. We have seen quite regularly a formation of 3 satellites. It's quite rare, but I think there's one up there, Constellation. It's a gravitational anomaly lab or something there. Janie, thank you for the gift there. But this one appeared to be blocking out. There seemed to be a solid structure, or the big bright orange thing that was too slow to be a shooting star but too fast to be a satellite, and many other strangeness about it there. Sure, I've seen some strange things. Well, if you want to share them, please, we would love to hear about it. Wales is on our road trip location, so occasionally we do the Skywatches on the road. We take all of the kit and we go to various locally at the minute we're doing a lot of the old Iron Age hill forts. I'm just going to turn up the brightness. You know what? I'm going to turn the brightness downstairs, I think. No, so I'm going to do it there for now. Yeah, so we go to the Iron Age hill forts locally where there's been lots of strange sightings, and it's always hilarious watching me get scared in the dark. But we are hoping, we're saving up at the minute to go take the show on the road to Rendlesham Forest, the sighting of that crash/landing that happened just outside the US Air Base there. God, look how many there are on screen at the minute there. Keep your eyes on them. We're looking for the ones that are moving a little bit strange. The tracker is a little bit too sensitive tonight. It's trying to pick up on some things that aren't there. Oh no, maybe they are there. They're just really faint. But yeah, so we're planning a UK tour. So Rendlesham Forest will be the first stop, but lots of places in Scotland and a few places in Wales as well there. Where did we get to over on here? Where are you there? You're not smoking there. It's making me eat. It's the giving up makes me eat, yeah. But the problem is I've kind of adjusted. So now I'll just eat more if I come off. Cloudy and still the light is on in Lewis there. Love it. And a living light as well. Night vision targets there. Stars and shooting stars and tumbling satellites there. And finally the zigzaggy UFOs. That is the ultimate goal for us, is to get the infrared modification to our camera. Hopefully you're going to see more and more. There, Rachel is in. How are you doing there? Oh, we hit 2.1 on over on YouTube. Thank you, Rachel. God, I've forgotten about that one. It's excuse me. Yeah, I mean, and what a little community we have. I'm very, very grateful for all of you guys. All very cool, all willing to come in and share your experiences with the phenomena, which I find absolutely amazing. A very, very brave, really. It's, you know, think of my experience sharing my interest in this. You always get a lot of cynical things, so let alone coming on publicly and sharing not just your interest, but your personal experiences too. It takes quite a bit to do it, so thank you guys if you do choose to share those things. And where are we? Down onto the TikTok chat. Deneb is approximately 1,500 to 2,600 light years. That's quite a big variation away. That is a hell of a lot. So 26 light years or 1,500 to 2,600. That is insane, isn't it? 1,000 times further. Thank you, Carl, for that. And we need to strategically place gnomes behind the trees. I'm not going to tell you where the location is until we're there, just so you can't do that. I know so many of you guys are already planning to make me jump, which, to be fair, isn't hard, is it there? Someone tell Pete. He would, he'd love that. Amy J, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And Miss Unidentified there, Northwest Cheshire area. Anyone seeing stars that move fast and form shapes? So the shape part of it is very, very interesting. There's lots of things up there in the night sky. Most of what we're going to see tonight is going to be those man-made satellites, sadly. But that movement, just as you say there, that behaviour is what sets it apart. There, they sometimes do things that satellites just can't do, or those objects up there, space junk or whatever. So forming shapes. What sort of shapes have you been seeing there? Miss as well, thank you for the follow in. John as well, how are you doing? I love to camp out at Rendlesham Forest. Oh, see, I'm getting more and more nervous about doing this there. Triangles there mostly move into a different shaped triangles. Now, again, something about a triangle is it's like maths is the language of the universe. It's such a, what's the word for that? But it's a universal language, isn't it? The geometry of these things there. And there is actually a case they did. So they looked at real life warp drives, you know, making a warp drive without breaking physics. It's possible, it just takes a lot of energy and we don't have the power to do it ourselves. But they do think that that's probably how these craft are traversing these vast distances. And you can do it. And recently another group of scientists actually started to do the maths on this, which is, you know, what would it look like specifically? You know, what would you see? So the gravitational lensing and all sorts of other effects. And they kind of looked at some classic and some modern UFO imagery and videos and went, oh, actually looks like we can see the effects of this happening. But one of those things was that these warp drives you could amplify the effect by doing certain formations, and one of those formations was a triangle formation. If those craft with 3 separate warp drives were in a triangle formation, they could work together and create an even more powerful one. Diamond was another formation as well, and it kind of makes you think maybe this is the behavior that we are observing. It's not a slam dunk, but it does give you a little bit of food for thought, doesn't it there? Lethal again coming in with a gift, Janie and Thomas as well, thank you for those. All goes back into the stream. And JW, I've got a quick question there. If you possibly know the answer, every night I look outside and see, I want to hear this. It sounds good there, JW. I'm going to bounce quickly over to the YouTube, but we'll finish that up there when you post it. I think it's cut off the rest of the message. So back over to the tubes. Where did we get to? We got to Rachel in, didn't we, there? And Mr. One Day One there. How can satellites see stuff at that distance? Surely if we see them as a pixel, they see us just as a pixel. It's crazy, isn't it? Like how all of this stuff works up there. So what we're even seeing here, this is not necessarily the actual representative size of the objects that we're seeing. So if I zoom in on this one here before it goes off the screen,
Zoom mode activated.
Right, you can just about see that white dot there. Right, that doesn't mean that the actual satellite is that size relative. No, what's kind of happening is that's reflecting the sun's light back down to us. So it's just reflecting a lot of light. Same as if a car with really bright headlights is coming straight towards you. You don't necessarily see the car shape. You see this big bright light, which is probably larger than the vehicle. So it's not necessarily representative. So yeah, even if it's smaller, how can we even see it? But it's all to do with this, the quality of lenses and how much light they set in. And it blows your mind, doesn't it, how it works? Especially when you're talking about seeing other galaxies and stuff like that. Like, how on earth does it work? And at the end of the day, we have to start trusting the scientists that tell us this how it works. I mean, but it's fair enough to not. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's a very good question there, Mr. One. And loving that living light there. And you're welcome there. Keep taking screenshots for your recent orb video there. I swear I see ET faces. Some of the ones you've sent me are really, really interesting there, Rachel, as well. Oh, and is it stuck? Oh, is it stuck for you guys? It's looking okay on my end there as well. We're all there, Gary. I think it might be our first in from over that way. And what camera are you using? It's a Sony A7. It's an earlier one there. But the trick is the lens. It's not so much the camera, although it does help, but it is mostly the lens, which I can't help with because I can't remember what the numbers are. It's a cheap Chinese lens. And do you watch the Y-Files? I treat myself on occasion there, Dan. Somebody pointed out that Alan is like an equivalent of Hecklefish. And I hadn't clicked that myself, but I think it probably is quite true. And good evening there, Marcus. Oddly, with their mouth open, they go, you've shocked them, Rachel. And 90 pair, how are you doing there? No worries. Ask away any questions, guys. There are no silly questions here, so maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it there. I'd love to hear from you all. Do say hello, let us know where you're all watching from. Make sure you're following and subscribed, because we're on pretty much every night. Where if it's a clear sky, it's UFO, UAP, Skywatch. If it's a cloudy night, then it is the Alien Radio Signal Hunt, where we search the hydrogen line, kind of like the film Contact or the recent TV series Pluribus. There, we're listening out for ET saying hello. It's where the WOW signal was heard. So hopefully you'll get those notifications when we go live. Should we quickly check the flight radar as well? There's another new feature. Let it have a stalk and it will restart. There we go. Right there. So we have some aircraft locally northeast. So we're not pointing that way, but it looks like the rest of the sky is clear at the second. We've got a few new extra toys that we're playing with at the minute there. Where did we get to over on the into the chat? And I want both there, Dan. Yeah, well, Allens are readily available on the internet there, but I do warn you, if you do get yourself an Allen, they're nothing but trouble. What kind of telescope are you using at the moment? So, Living Light. So this is just it's a Sony digital camera, you know, one of those professional sort of photography / videography cameras there. That's all it is there, so it's no telescope. But I do want to get into telescopes, but we haven't made that happen yet. We got close with somebody, but at the minute it's just keeping this working. It seems to be an expensive enough hobby. But yeah, no, we do want to do the telescope stuff, because in theory, we could have this as the wide field and then, you know, have a telescope and just go, right, let's look at Vega on the super zoom. That, I think, would be absolutely amazing there. And maybe they are just fond of me and they're used to me by now expressing stuff. Maybe, Rachel. Where are we over on the TikTok? Okay, yeah, so JW said, every night I look outside and I see a random dot just slowly going across the sky, but I see them so often and I always make myself think it's satellite, but I don't know. You've touched on something really, really interesting there, JW. So most likely, most statistically, the majority of what we're going to see are going to be man-made objects and satellites. So it's quite rational to think that way. And if you picked 100 of those dots, you're going to be right 99 times. But to say that any specific one is, if you're just observing it, you can use the websites to track the ones that are listed. Not all of them are tracked, but a lot of them are. So you can confirm specific cases like that. It's a bit, we're working on bringing that into the tracker, but not necessarily that everyone is. What we are seeing is objects flying around up there. They've still got a direct line of to the sun, and they're reflecting that light back down on us. That's kind of all we can really know. Now, people were seeing these objects just like this before man had anything up there in orbit, before we were messing around like this. There's a lot of evidence of that. Some recent paperwork have been studying it, trying to figure it out, but it does appear to have been other things that have been up there for a lot longer, able to reflect this light back down to us. So, again, just because we don't see it do anything anomalous doesn't necessarily mean that it is a man-made satellite. It just means statistically that's going to be most likely. But so for what we have to do is just go, right, until it does something strange, it's probably a satellite. But still look out, and we can't say 100% that it is there. So keep an eye, keep following JW. Every now and again, you will see one that does act a little bit weird, and that's what we're hunting for tonight. We're looking out for the ones that stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure, because man-made satellites cannot do that sort of stuff there. But most of the time, if that one there, right there, is ET flying around going from A to B, he's most of the time going to be going in a straight line at a consistent speed. There's not much to avoid up there. The most efficient path between 2 points is a straight line. They're going to look very, very similar. It's going to be that rare occasion that when ET realises he's left the gas on and does an interstellar handbrake turn right over the stream there. So a really, really good way of putting that, JW. Where are we there? Stephen as well. How come that the screen is reversed? Oh, is it reversed? It should be reversed, is it? Let me have a look. Was that when I put up the old tracker? Hold on, let's have a look. Is it? It should be. No, it doesn't look reversed to me. Where are we? Down there. Sarzi coming in with the gifts there. Adam too. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. All goes back into the streams. Gift subs members and the merch as well. Look, we've got our Skywatcher t-shirts. As well. Hopefully we're going to have a new one soon for our road trip, a special edition one. I always hope it's a UFO, but I just don't know anymore. JW, it's totally right there. It's hard, and I think we've got to get more and more used to holding things open. You know, not going, definitely not, or it definitely is until we have the information. But if you keep looking, you will keep finding there. OGV, how are you doing there? Good to see you. And did your t-shirts come in the end today? I'm surprised they didn't come first. They're done in the UK. Might have to wait ages for my mug. Never actually seen anything change a formation or anything there. Unfortunately, just a random dot there. So yeah, it takes a while. I hadn't seen, until we started doing this stream, let me in fact turn the tracker off and spin the camera around. I hadn't seen anything strange. It was doing this, and so we do it every night that it's clear, basically. It's getting a little bit cloudy there, but it took a while. But once you start seeing one, you tend to start to see some more. So hang around with us and you will start to see more and more anomalous things, I imagine. These skies are absolutely alive. Let's turn up the brightness a touch so we can still see what's behind that. And York as well, thank you for the follow there. Where are you joining us from? The ISS is passing over the same path as last night, far out west. Perfect then. So when's that? In 12 minutes time. It would be a little bit longer than that one. We're fighting the clouds a little bit tonight, but they are moving. So even if they do come in a bit thick and fast, there will be a gap coming up soon. Joseph, well, how are you doing? Thank you for the gift. The problem is near me is just clouds all of the time. Oh, I feel that. Again, when I was in Essex, so we moved here just over a year ago, and was in Essex, it was so light polluted. I never really paid attention to the night sky at all. Maybe a couple of stars. You know, I hadn't even seen the satellite, let alone the ISS or anything pass over before. But moving to the country where it was clear, it's just so much easier. And the first night, I just looked up and went, oh my God. Oh, one satellite, two satellite, three. And it just blew my mind how busy the skies are there. And Janice as well there, thank you for the follow. Adam is in, good to see you there. And the only weird one I've seen recently was a light randomly appearing and slowly dimming in the space of 5 seconds. That's quite cool to see. I've seen that on the screen, but I haven't seen that with my naked eye there. And you never know, it's those variables that just go, hey, look at this one a bit closer. It's not necessarily slam dunk. There's like a degree, you know, the movement is slam dunk, but then there's that middle ground of coloration, flashing, brightnesses, where you kind of get a feel from after a time. You know, that is a bit different. It's a bit weird there. And Galaxy Watcher, can you show us Andromeda? In theory, yes. I think we have to wait a little bit later on in the night because it's still over the light polluted part of town. And there's a bit of clouds in the way, but they are moving. But at some point, yeah, we do catch Andromeda on screen quite a bit, actually. It's one of the few things that I know where it roughly is this time of year of the night sky. So hopefully a bit later on we can there. Kate coming in with the shares. Thank you for those guys. The shares, the likes, the tapping away, all of that jazz helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more and more like-minded people we get in looking at the phenomena, sharing your experiences, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. The clouds are looking red tonight. Yep, it's the surface of Venus. That's why. And is this a website or is your own personal camera? So yeah, it's our own kit, and even the tracking software is our own there as well. So luckily we've got full control of everything within our space. Looking at possibly renting a telescope, maybe like somewhere else in the world, so we don't have to wait for, you know, perfect timing when it gets dark. But we're not there yet. And what's that? There we go, V. I see you now. Yeah, so I saw you coming in, but that's the only one I've seen there. As TikTok put you in jail, I saw you come in, and I've just seen that one there. And as it falls on the left of your screen, good spotting there, Stephen. And Amanda there, where do I upload my image? Right, are you on our Discord, Amanda? If not, link in bio for that one. And there's a personal experiences section in there, which is the great place to put all that. And everybody, guys, if you do want to join and check that out, and that's where all of our community share their images, videos, personal experiences with the phenomena. You can add yours, or just read through all of the cool ones. But there's also all the latest space news, UFO news, all the interesting podcasts we hear. They're all covered over there as well, plus our monthly alien-themed movie club. And as it shut the laser light at them there, they shoot off. Patrick, I've heard this a lot. I've heard it. I'm a bit too nervous to do it, because where we are right on the edge of a large military training area. In fact, when we do our Skywatches on location, we're technically on the training area, and we've had it where the army are camped out 200 meters away from us, and we see the helicopters going. So in my head, I'm like, am I going to mistake an Apache attack helicopter for a UFO and start flicking a laser at it there? But I do hear lots of interesting, accounts that people have experiences that, you know, this to and fro communication with it. We are working on a different way of doing it though. So have you ever heard of the dog whistle, which is the idea that tones and frequency could summon them in like a dog whistle? Well, if I load up there, we're building it. I haven't got it connected up to the speakers at the moment. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to get them outside. But if I turn it on, all right, let that change. So over on YouTube, you'll see it down here. TikTok, you won't see the waveform. This tells you when it's going off. Most of the tones are, the human ear can't hear them. That's the whole point, like a dog whistle. But apparently that's got a good relationship of summoning them in as well. So this is the one that we can hear, and you'll know why. But oh, you didn't get the waveform up there. That's a bit weird. I have to problem solve that one. But essentially, yeah, we've got loads of different frequency patterns, waves, all that sort of stuff there. And yeah, that will we can hopefully summon them in once I hook up the speakers to that one. Why didn't the wave go through on that one? Very strange. Myself and a couple of friends have seen a UFO there. I was reported in the local newspaper. So what sort was it, Denise? I want to hear about that. Was it lights in the sky acting strangely, or could you see the actual craft outline? We've seen plenty of lights in the sky, which are really cool. I'm so desperate to see a craft shape myself there. Greetings, Joseph. How are you doing? And JW, thank you for the follow. And V, I got my mug merch, but waiting for your t-shirts and hats. They never. Oh, that's frustrating. The hat. That was the longest one for me, because I think they all come from separate places, why the shipping's so silly. But the t-shirt should have been here quicker. I'll have to have a look to make sure. But we haven't had any issues with delivery yet. It's probably because you're in the outer, farmost reaches there. They're having a bit of a time. But hopefully they should arrive soon, V. Then we want to see you on the merch showcase over on the Discord. Speaking of which, guys, if you do decide to help us out there and get some of our awesome merch, actually, is it going to load? Yeah, there we go. That's our tour t-shirt. UFO notebook as well there. You sighted log. There's the beanie. There's our main t-shirt. Skywatch t-shirt. etc, etc. But if you do, there we've got the merch showcase. Post a picture of yourself in it. There's Janie, and we can bring it up on screen. There's A up with a mug, with a t-shirt, and I think we've got Carl as well with his t-shirt as well. So yeah, we can bring you up on a stream there to see all of you guys. And if you go on holiday, I want to see all around the world pics there, all the landmarks, you guys in your awesome stuff. And JW, it was so bright as well, and not like a star, and it was more like a street light. Bloody hell, that is quite a difference in brightness there, isn't it? There. And Dove3 as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight? If you're new here, guys, say hello, let us know where you're all watching from, and ask away any questions you may have. I might take me a minute to get to you guys. I'm just finishing up here on the TikTok, then I'll be over to the tubes to hear from you all. If you don't mind me asking there, how much does it cost you to start something like this? Like a lot of things, they start off somewhat reasonable, and then you go, oh, this would help. Oh, and this would help. I had no idea how much I've spent in total now. It's ridiculous. But it's the camera and the lenses is the most expensive part, and again, that is just like how much do you want to spend with these sorts of things. You can pick up second-hand ones for in the hundreds area there, but it depends what time of year, how many's on eBay, and all that sort of stuff. Sub 1,000 if you did want to get going with it, I think, as well. And Amanda there, yep. And what's happening there as well? Thank you for the follow there. Well, I just sent an application for the Discord. Excellent. Right, we'll make sure that that is approved pretty shortly for that one. And Helga too, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from tonight? And we could see the craft. Oh, it was a bright light, but moving really strange. And have a look and look on Google it. I will. I'll have to try and remember that. That is cool. Whereabouts? Oh, all the ice is visible in 28 northwest, yeah, same point there, 28 degrees and minus 22 minutes. Perfect there. Oh, what's this light playing up? The notification worked. Right, we've got some clouds though. I mean, we still should see it with these clouds. Google the Vale of Glamorgan UFO sighting. Right, I'll try and remember to do that one as well. I will try, because I always forget when I come off the stream, but I'm curious to see that one. Maybe we'll have to add that to our UFO hotspot tour. And JW, my own problem is I can never trust what people say on YouTube, because if I'm spending a lot, I need something good. Oh my God, that has been for me, JW, the most frustrating part of this. I've wasted so much money on lenses and various things, and we've had so much bad luck with tech issues, so we've had to learn the hard and the expensive way. So hopefully we're getting close to figuring out what a stable setup is. There we go. It's worth spinning the camera, guys. Look, we've got a nice gap here. Sod those clouds. We don't have to deal with that. Right. We shouldn't be too far from Andromeda, actually, this way. But yeah, so there's all sorts of variables that come into play as well, you know, like your own local conditions and certain stuff like that. So sometimes, you know, if it works there, it doesn't work elsewhere necessarily. 23:43, it passes over you there. I've got quite this. Oh my God. All right, you can't see this, guys. I just saw these legs along my microphone arm, just big old legs like that, and it's a grasshopper. Hello, mate. Can we get you in shot? No, you can see him there. No, he's just out of shot. Hello. You're all right. You're not a spider, but you probably won't like being in here, mate. Scared the crap out of me. Oh, where are we? Down here as well. Oh, uploaded. Thank you, Amanda, for that. I'll check that one out. Tomorrow's going to be my day to go through all of our messages and stuff there. Thank you, Kate, for being hot on that one there. And JMD, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? And is it just a trial and error, or does anyone have a recommendation on starter kit? So I've heard there's a camera cover, is it Nikon P1000 is good for low light. We use the Sony A7S, I think. They're good, but it's all about the lenses. And again, it depends how much light you've got in your local area as well. There's all sorts of variations and fluctuations. So it is a bit of trial and error, sadly. There, Jiminy Cricket, yeah. You are good luck, Cricket, tonight. Thank you, mate. I hope I haven't trapped you in it. You don't look like I've trapped your legs in there. Right, bouncing over quickly to the YouTubes. Where did we get to with you? Sorry guys, takes me a second to scroll up. Where are we? Down here. Got to Marcus, didn't we? Just go. Are the big aliens in there? Maybe, Dan. And telescopes are fun, but it's better just to lay on your back in a clear spot and watch the sky. XM, and there's a good reason for that, because you know, you need a wide field of view. If you have telescopes, you're trying to look at a very precise point very, very far away. So they're designed to be incredibly zoomed in, basically, and very specific. Doesn't mean you can't spot a UFO, just means your surface area is smaller, so that you lower chances that, you know, a UFO is going to be in any one place, unless you happen to know where a UFO is going to be passing at what time. So we need a wide field of view, but we have to balance that out with, if it's too wide, you won't actually see any of those things moving because they're just too small on the screen relative. So it's trying to, I've got another lens that I do want to try for this at some point. But yeah, it's trying to get that balance there. So just laying on your back out there in the garden, that's actually quite good because your eyes are designed to look for movement and things like that. You know, that's, you've got all different cones and rods to you know, work with that sort of situation. As well there. Where do we get to? Oh, unless you get a motorised tripod tracking in a pan. I would love to, but they're so bloody expensive. So we've got the little manual one here. It's quite cheap. Oh, it's in 1 minute. So let me see if Leanne wants to take the reins there, and we can see if we can catch the ISS. 2 seconds, guys. Leanne, if you are still on, do you want to come up and check out that? I'll just go down and ask her because of the delay. Coming over at some point in a minute. Right, yes, she's just coming up, so we should be able to catch the ISS still. Yeah, but I'm looking at getting a better pan and tilt mode. That's on my list there, so we should get a full free at 60 degrees with that and be able to do the moon lens easier, which is bigger and heavier. You'll see all kinds of stuff on a clear night after your eyes have time to adjust, which takes about 20 minutes. I kind of need to do that, I think, without doing the stream, just to embrace it there. Lilac, I remember the original Y-Files from the late 90s on the live TV channel covering topics from UFOs. I didn't know there was an older version of that there. Oh, Celestron, I've heard very good things about those. Bulky, heavy, beast there. You can see the faces in the clouds tonight. Can anyone see that one? And that would be just typical views to have there. I just use my torch from my phone to say hello in binary color. You know what I'm like. But that's actually, Rachel, that is probably a lot better way of doing it there. I like to overcomplicate things. Well, let me just get to the... Okay, right. I'm not going to get to those, but I'm going to highlight where I am in the tube. So it'll be a bit longer when I come up, but we will get to those once I'm back after looking for the ISS, and we'll bring it in on screen there. Hello, O, and Patrick as well. Thank you for the follow, for joining us there.
Can you put Otis away when you're down there?
Maybe. What? Why don't you put Otis away?
I don't want to.
Slacker.
I got him out. Hi. Hi everyone. So Sam is going out to look for the ISS. Which will be big and bright on our screen. The tracker will have no problem finding that, surely. But we will see momentarily. Where are we in the chat? Hello! Hi everyone. Hi. Nice to see you all. Tracker showing it's just coming over the Atlantic. Okay, cool. So hopefully it will be in view very, very soon. So for those of you just joining us, we are watching the skies above Wiltshire, looking for the strange and anomalous. Those green lines that you're seeing appear on your screen are tracking things that are moving in the sky. That is a big bright one there. Like, you can see that even without the tracker, I think. So the way the tracker works is the green line shows the predicted trajectory of the things that we see moving in the sky, and if they veer off course, then it should go red, is the idea. And it has been going red tonight. We've seen a few times things go a bit off course, go a bit off kilter. Yeah, it's really interesting to see. I quite like it without the tracker, because I think you can get a clearer view of the things, but when there is an interesting one to look at, Sam does zoom in on the screen, so you don't miss out on anything. So yeah, the bright purple one you can see on the screen now, which is here. That's Vega. That's one of our closest stars? Yeah. Which is really cool to see. And sorry, I'm distracted by all the flashing lines on the camera. How is everyone today? So what have I done today? I haven't done much. I've had a lazy day today, which has been really nice. We went for a 2-mile walk though, and there's a really lovely nature reserve just around the corner from us. So we went there, and we went just at peak dog walking time. So everyone had their dogs out, and it was awesome. I got to stroke some puppies. It was really fun. But now we are back home. We had dinner. I was watching Supernatural downstairs before Sam dragged me away. But now I'm here with you guys, watching the skies. If you've seen anything strange or anomalous in the skies, please do comment. We love to hear your stories. What do you use to see this? It's just a camera. It's a camera with a very good lens. We are thinking of getting a telescope as well, but in honesty, with views like this, you know, we don't really need it. Oh, there's one on the screen that the tracker's not got. Can you see it? Oh, there's a couple. See, that looks quite pretty. The way the clouds are going over, the colours that you're getting there, sort of the blues and the oranges and stuff. That is really beautiful. So whenever the sky is clear, we're here getting the camera set up in our garden in Wiltshire, looking at the skies. Just around the corner from Stone Henge. I think it's literally about a 15-minute drive from our house. I've not been. I've driven past it multiple times now. But once you've seen it from the road, you've kind of seen it. The only thing that I'd really like to do one year is maybe the solstice there. But I've not been quite brave enough to do that yet because it gets very busy. But yeah. Lots of weird stuff going on in the skies over Wiltshire. Lots of weird stuff going over in the skies all over the world, actually. We've been getting information on, like, disclosure. A normal camera. Oh, but how do you track objects? Oh, I apologize. So the object tracking is something that Sam's built using AI. So he's got all the code and stuff. It's a program that he's got on the system. So the camera input comes in, and then the software that he's made does the tracking. This is all very clever. Yeah. And we've also got, when the skies aren't clear, we do a search for alien radio signals on the hydrogen line. So again, that's all software that Sam has put together himself with the help of AI tools. And I think you can actually watch that live at any time on our website. And the link to that is in our bio. Now that's a good one. Again, don't need a tracker to see that. Check that out. And it is following that line perfectly. Wow. So yeah, the tracker is working. We're still training it, so you can see it's going a little bit wibbly. But yeah, the more we use it, the more intelligent it's going to get. So yeah, that's exciting. But yes, the SETI stream. So when the skies are not clear, so when those clouds get too thick or it's raining, we do our SETI stream, which is looking for radio signals. Yes, it is a satellite. Most of the things that we see moving up there in the sky are going to be satellites. What do you think? So what? It's a satellite. Yes. Sorry, I was just reading. I saw that Boxman Sam had replied, which is actually the host of the show. We have seen things up in the sky. If you look on our TikTok, you can see some clips we have taken. But we often see odd things in the sky where, when we see the satellites, we see hundreds of satellites a night, honestly, and we watch them do their straight line across the screens. Military, it could be the military, but then we don't know of any human technology at the moment that can do those sorts of maneuvers, particularly at the heights that we are seeing as well on the screen in the sky, to be at that sort of height as well. Yeah, it may not be from other planets. We don't know. That's what we're here to find out. We're here to discuss and come up with different ideas, where things are coming from, whether it is tech that we don't know about, whether it is something extraterrestrial, whether it's something terrestrial that we're not seeing. Sorry, I'm squinting because I can't read the chat so clearly. Oh wow, look at that. When Sam's moving it, obviously the track is going, oh my god, everything's moving. So it's trying to track all the stars just as Sam turns the camera around. So yeah, I think the most compelling evidence is hearing everyone's stories as they come out, the disclosure that's coming out from America and things like that. I don't know if it's aliens and things. I'm much more into the quantum physics and paranormal stuff. So I tend to look at these things through that lens, whereas Sam's more of a nuts and bolts guy. So he also loves the paranormal stuff, but he really likes the nuts and bolts of these things. So it's really fascinating to see us coming from these different angles and coming together to come up with these ideas. And then he has you lot, and you have your own ideas and your own experiences and stories about what you've seen in the sky, and some of it just cannot be explained really easily, or at all. And I think it's only once you've seen it for yourself that you sort of go, okay, there's something else going on. I know that's never going to convince a skeptic, unfortunately. Until it's one of those things, until you've experienced it, you can't say, because we haven't got solid proof, apart from people experiencing it. I'm explaining myself really badly, I apologize. It's been a long day. I think it's the heat. So even when I have a lazy day, as soon as I start trying to engage my brain, I'm just like, oh. So I do apologize. Oh, you're not a skeptic. My apologies, I misread your messages about what you thought these things might be. So what do you think they might be then? Have you seen anything strange in the sky? Or had any experiences that have made you think otherwise? We get a lot of people coming in who ask us, what are these things going on in the sky? And we do point out that the vast majority of them are going to be satellites. 99.999% of them are going to be satellites, but there only needs to be one. I remember I went to a Catholic school when I was a teenager, and we were doing philosophy of religion in sixth form, which was fascinating to talk about, and I did it again at university. Oh, we've lost the camera, darling. I wonder if he must be watching as well. We'll get that back on in a moment, you guys. But yeah, I remember one of the biggest arguments was there's obviously lots of stories and anecdotal evidence for miracles happening. And the argument was there only needs to be one. If a miracle by definition is something that cannot happen without power outside of the universe, God or whatever you want to call it, if that's what a miracle is, then only one of them needs to be true to prove the existence of that power. The same can be said for aliens. Only one of these dots that we see going across the sky needs to be something. They're one of those claimed to be an alien, but only trying to cause trouble in the chat. We are open to everyone having an opinion. Don't come on and saying something is not real without a good argument. Guys, let's keep it friendly in the chat, alright? Like we were saying just in the chat just now, we love different opinions. That's one of the things that we're here for. We learn from other experiences, from different points of view. We get a better, clearer idea about these things.
Quite low on the horizon.
It's low on the horizon.
It was low on the horizon. We did catch it for a bit, but you didn't look much brighter than the Starlink out behind clouds. So
Okay.
We did have it, but it went past.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. It was probably on the screen and I completely blanked it because I was talking about something completely different. I apologise. I'll pass you back over to Sam.
A few clouds, but there are gaps, so just wait for them to pass.
Yep.
Oh, right. Tis warm. God, floating around with that. Now, tripped over the camera lead, that's why it came out. Clumsy me. Alright, let's see if I can just spin the camera a touch. Hold your hats. Where did we get to? Oh, let's go and have a little sulk there, then it'll calm down. Right, where do we get back to? Hello, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road. Sorry, from Stone Henge. I'm incredibly unfit there, but do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and make sure you're following and subscribed, because we're on pretty much every night there as well. Where are we? Is there Amy is in as well? Where did we get to in the chat? As Kate says, that other point of views are brilliant and valued, and people are trying to spin others in circles is not useful. Totally, yeah. Or you'd like to hear other point, even if you're not into the aliens, it's totally cool there. But you can offer up your idea. You just can't force people to take it there. And Amy, as well, I'm new to this, I do believe, but what are we looking at? Currently, clouds. But yeah, this is the night sky live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is, as I said, right in the heart of crop circle country. Long history of strange things in the night sky. At the minute, we've not got any movement on screen because there's clouds in the way, but we're looking to monitor all of the objects we see. We see a lot of man-made satellites. There's a hell of a lot of them up there, and our job is to track them and see if any act in strange ways, because when you're up at those sort of altitudes, you're quite limited in that movement pattern profile behavior. They're falling to earth in a big circle. They can't really vary or deviate from that. 2 seconds. God, I'm so unfit. Yeah, they can't really deviate from that. So if we see an object stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory, we know that we're not dealing with space junk, satellite, or a shooting star, or anything like that. So that is what we need to be looking out for. That's why it's a hunt, but we do see it. Again, it's quite rare because the majority of objects up there are man-made, but we do need to see, we do need to keep our eyes peeled on the screen. Hopefully the tracking will help us. There's a faint object here, right just there.
Zoom mode activated.
So again, we're going to see lots of objects like this, various brightnesses as well and sizes, but we need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory to know for sure that it is something stranger. That one's being tracked. Again, most of them will be man-made satellites, and humorless people are quite annoying. Is that yourself? And what were the little grey dotted ones? So those, again, we don't know for sure. Just statistically, it's most likely going to be a man-made satellite, and that's where we need to pay attention. They're reflecting that sun's light back down to us here on Earth. That's how we're able to see them. They haven't got headlights on them. So yeah, right position from the sun can reflect that light brightly down. Coloration, flashing, we see variations, and they can be interesting, but it's not quite slam dunk there. I know things, as I would have been happier to tell you. Hey, you're still welcome to tell us what is it, the things that you know as well. Where are we? Sorry, let me find where we are. Over on the tubes. Exactly. Where did we get to? It's before I went down for the ISS. I think it's going to jump ahead on me. Let me see where I got to into the chat. So it'll be a few messages back. Where are we there? And super there. Oh, sorry, spare. Photography and astrophotography are darn expensive. They are. It gets ridiculously quick. And I know I am enjoying the new features there added to the broadcast. Thank you, Andrew. Do appreciate that. And we're noticing actually with some of the tracking. You know what you were talking about, the wiggling? I thought it was a tracking error, but after you having it in your images, that could be a new feature. And as well, you know, you're talking about the movements that we weren't noticing. There was one, was it for last night? And it kind of went curved over and then under the line, which blew my mind. When I wouldn't have been able to tell that with the naked eye. It just would look like a straight line to me. Sadly, here I think, oh God, it really is, Rachel. Everything's expensive there. And the P900 and the P1000 fixed lens are good for a zoom and moon, though. Are they fixed lensed ones? Oh yeah, that wouldn't have been any good for us, because the P1000 was one I was looking at initially before we got this one. Incredibly zoomy. I regret picking it out for that reason. The goggles that we've got are quite zoomed in. It's why we don't use the infrared ones much on the stream. I need a good deck chair for sky watching. It's the one thing I don't have. And I thought you were going to get the grasshopper. Oh my God, I forgot about that. should have. You're right. I think it's hopped off now, but that would have been a sensible idea there, Rachel. I would have. I don't like bugs. How are you doing there, Amanda? No, you're talking to Leanne there. This is Leanne's coming in. I love Supernatural. Every time I get to the end, I go back from the beginning. I put it off watching that for years, and I did actually quite enjoy it. I preferred the Monster of the Week format rather than the overarching thing there. And Terry's in there. Seen any alien craft yet there? No, I didn't think so. Well, I don't know if they're alien, but we've definitely seen some anomalous ones. We've seen some very strange movement and light profiles from these objects up there. And again, some of those I think are slam dunk, not man-made. They are not in the realms of satellites, sheer space junk or things like that if they're displaying those strange movement profiles. But what they are, couldn't say. Are they ET waving as he goes by? I don't know. But I think in this world, you've got to always leave a few percentage for the other things, even if you think it's very unlikely. Most things, there's a lot of things out there that are not actually impossible. And that's when we get blindsided there. And I film UFOs there. Hey, I call them in every night. I film. Thank you for sharing that. What do you have that, what sort of success rate have you got with that? And where are we? Whoa, I just kind of seeing that one, right? That's V, you jumped in on that. Literally, I was clicking ban there. I haven't even read that. I just saw the Karen and, arses. Where did we get to on the other side as well? And Andrew there, the best and the cheapest option for finding UFOs is the Sony Alpha 3. And I found it for less than $1,500. Of course, still pricey, isn't it? Without the lens and another K with the 200mm lens there. You don't want anything bigger. No, you don't want anything bigger. But I didn't know the Alpha 3 was good for it, but I suppose, yeah. That's good tip there, Andrew. And they come in under the cloud cover, no problems. Well, that could be another part of it. Are they involved in this? Is this a form of coverage for them? Or there are some people that reported square clouds. Maybe there's something that they're adapting or utilizing for cover. You never know there. And gaming photography there. How can I do this at home? You need a good camera and a good lens and a long HDMI lead, and that's really it. But figuring out the camera and the lens is a bit tricky there. The 783 there, yeah, that's right. Still, but I think we haven't got the free. We definitely haven't got the free. Can't afford the free. That's nice. Where are we? Emilio is in there, and cubes and spheres. I film loads of footage on your channel. I'll try and check that one out then, I film. What's the best thing that you have spotted? And from 50 years of personal experience, they come from high dimensions. Dimensions are not what we have been led to believe there. They are classified, and we are fed misinformation. I like the dimension angle. I really do, Andrew, and I think it could be a big part of it. And we definitely don't have a good cultural understanding of dimensions. Hollywood has kind of given us this understanding that a dimension is like a different place, more like the multiverse idea. You go into a different dimension, it's a different place. Dimensions aren't quite that. They are the same place that you're in, but a different way of interacting with it. So the three spatial dimensions we work with as humans are forward and backwards, left and right, up and down, and then we go forward in time. So in the same way that up and down is the same place as where I am right now, it's just a different measurement of it. There could be others there, and there's a brilliant video. I said Hannah Fry, it's one of her shorts over on YouTube, and she talks about what a higher dimensional object would look like to us, because we can only perceive the three-dimensional part of it. And as soon as you see that, you go, oh, that could definitely be a lot of what we are seeing here. We're just seeing the shadows essentially of high dimensional objects. It's like, it's crazy. And for what I know, they are composed of more energy and less matter than we are. These beings and technology are nuclear, radioactive, and they can make us sick, definitely ill, or even kill us with a touch. These things can be dangerous by their very nature, can't they? Lots of people talk about having radiation burns and things from hello, darling. Thank you. Are you going to bed? Okay. No. But that from interacting with the craft. And apparently one of the ways that this could be doing, that if they are using a warp drive, maybe they're emitting light waves, right? But if they're using a warp drive, that's gravitational lensing, it's blending, or even just the shifting of the light wave there can shift it into the dangerous part of the waves and then cause us a problem. So they might not be intending to do us damage, but just a product of the technology. And the Einstein quote there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. It's true. Why do we have to be binary? I'm definitely advocating for a little bit of both there, which is that, if you have to, go figure out what it actually is specifically. And until then, we can work on our rough estimations of these things. Where are we? There. And another thing, they emit light from their physical bodies and eyes. Their eyes glow to express emotions like an intersection light and a red stop, yellow card. You know, I've not heard that one before, but what? You're on camera. Getting her ass out. Got dizzy now. But yeah, maybe, you know, we trigger, or we broadcast all sorts of information as humans, you know, the whites of our eyes, our eyebrows, you know, our head positions, the furrows of my brow. We can express our emotions in all these subtle, unconscious ways. So why wouldn't light be a factor of this? That's a really interesting one there, Andrew. I like that one. And Mark there, how are you doing? And Leanne gave us a wonderful insight into various matters from her perspective. It's always good to have a different perspective in there. Thank you, darling, for covering. And I recently learned their eyes glow white to express surprise or uncertainty or perhaps fear. I have not heard anybody theorize about those sort of expressions but through light. And that is really interesting to me. That's like a whole extra area to uncover. That is very, very interesting there, Andrew. And Mark, with two others, it's blinked out and phased away 2 years ago. And Orange, as older, was just coming down the road just above the house, and it went past us like it was a normal there. Strange days are here. I think you're right, strange days are here, but they may have been here for a long time. It does feel like the phenomena is ramping up. Yeah, I put the camera out. Yeah, it's strange. It does feel like it's ramping up, you know, but is that just a product that we are connected now? All of these individual stories and accounts that are happening to us all, which beforehand we wouldn't have been able to share, really. It wouldn't have spread, wouldn't have reached the nation or the world. Now we can. I don't. They freak me out there. The P9 bridge cameras. Oh, are they? And the observation was awesome there. I saw many different UFOs last night here, and I caught two kinds on camera and shared them. Awesome, Andrew, and good work at doing all of that. It's going to be people, it might not be sexy, but it's individual people going out there and doing the work like that, sharing the information there that slowly pushes that needle, doesn't it, towards disclosure. It's an essential part of it, putting in the groundwork. And if it's a white grasshopper, then it's a one that has stopped by to see me yesterday. This one was your classic green grasshopper, so your friend is still with you there. And someone had spotted a craft in one of those colourful clouds. Oh, I didn't see that. And I've been calling them in for 7 years using a combination of psionics and lasers. Okay, so lasers is one that I hear is really, really good. The psionics, the consciousness stuff as well, but I'm not grounded in that at all. I don't know much around it. A group in our community are looking into trying that one though. But the lasers I hear are good. but there's some of the beings protect us from their crafts too, and a Nordic has done that to an elder man. Apparently it reminds me of what is his name, Travis Walton there, because he initially had his experience, wasn't it, where he got caught in the light of that, and they abducted him, and then he appeared in it a few days later, and he took it initially as that they had abducted him to do experiments on him, but as he's got older, he now thinks that he was injured indirectly because he was too close to the craft, and they actually brought him on board to heal him. And yeah, so he thinks he actually got the wrong end of the stick initially with it there. If protected, would have been Leanne that slapped on the head. Yeah, probably, Rachel. Right, back over to the tubes. Let's see where we got to. Sorry, tubes, the TikTok. It's been a second. Where did we get to? Did Marcus send a treasure box? Thank you for that, Marcus. I hope everybody thanked Marcus when you claimed the coins there. Let me have a look. Where are we in the Laggy as well, coming in with the gifts. I'm going to scroll up to here. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody there. Do exactly the same, and the moon was gorgeous tonight and close. I haven't seen the moon in a good few weeks. Obviously we normally see it because it cycles monthly, but I don't know if it's just really low in the sky at the minute, so we don't see it from here, but I haven't seen it in ages there. And hey, I'm glad, yeah, good getting in school. You don't have to entertain people that long if you don't want to, guys. And Andre as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And greetings, Earthlings there. I've just counted 6 unidentifiable flying Dior bags up there, and then this page pops up on my feed. The Dior bags, as in that they look like a handbag shape sort of thing. I've not heard that one before, but hey, synchronicities, as Carl Jung said, maybe you are here for a reason. Guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight there. We're currently live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of weird and wonderful things in these night skies. Do say hello, let us know where you're all watching from, and ask away any questions that you may have there. There are no silly questions at all, so do feel free to ask maybe what it is we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it there, or my favourite, if you've had an experience with the phenomenon, I would love to hear that whilst we're waiting for the action to appear on screen. But we're live pretty much every night, so make sure you're following or subscribed. Clear nights it's this, it's UFO UAP Skywatch. Cloudy nights it's the alien radio signal hunting on the hydrogen line. Hoping to hear ET say hello, it's where the wow signal was heard. And if the moon's up, we do a moon stream. It looks like this, and we've seen some strange things up there as well. You should get those notifications when we go live. And where are we? Alan's vaping. He can't stop himself. Okay, what's that? Back to your right in there, Kate, after that one. And Lethal there. Sorry, I'm back now. Found someone unconscious outside your house there. So I had to... Oh, my God. Oh, sounds like you were living in Essex there. Are they okay, do you think? There. And is it Techno? Welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from tonight? So guys, do say hello and let us know where you're watching from there. Your pin's not working again, Lee. You say not only you've offended YouTube, you've affected the TikTok gods. And thank you for the gifts there, feeding Alan.
Nom, nom, nom.
All
Thanks,
goes back
guys.
into the stream there. The members, the subs, the Patreons, the merch, all of that jazz does help us improve on what we're doing. Speaking of which, we just check for aircraft. What have we got? Let it soak a second and then it'll spin. Which lanky in a bit, but have we got anything in the local area? Nope. No, I think we're clear for local aircraft. Don't have to worry about those for sightings. Where do we get to down here as well? It's very busy. It is very busy. And Grim as well. Any crazy lights today? Not today, but last night and the night before, we've had some really interesting alignments. So when these do go red, check to see if the line is crossing itself, like going over or under. We've had that before, and I can't quite figure out what a normal explanation for that amount of movement would be. And Adriana as well there, Scotty, and is it Fizo? Thank you for the follows, guys. Good to have you in, part of the crew. Do make sure you say hello, let us know where you're watching from. But if you fancy it, guys, we have a Discord there, link in bio, where we talk off stream. It's not just stream updates there. There's loads of interesting things, you know, all the podcasts and the other videos that we talk about. Go, oh, this was interesting. They get posted there. We've also got a personal experiences section where you're free to, you know, put your account in there where it won't just disappear after the stream with images and videos. You could read through them all or add your own. Is that a red star in C2? Changes to a white. So there is, right, in C, where is C2? So that one, that's stars there. That could be the color changes could be the atmospheric interaction, because when the light is traveling these far distances, by the time it reaches us, it's so weak, and therefore any disturbances in the atmosphere can then just kind of make it harder for that light to penetrate. So, you know, that's when you get the twinkling, and also you can get some of those color changings as well. But it is worth, you know, if it draws your eye, pay attention, because sometimes it can be a lot more anomalous. And that, indeed, for the old drugs, I think he's been taken away now. Literally, that was one of the reasons why we moved away from Essex. Like, the house we was on, there'd be people shooting up heroin out the front of it, or relieving themselves, and we weren't even near any bars or anything like that. Val there coming in with the shares, appreciate that. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves, and the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the better. So the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the phenomena they're going to share. N, thank you for the follow. And Janie, is that a dead pixel in between D1 and D2? Yes, yeah, that is. So the dramatic red ones is that one there. I think there's another one there, and there's a faint one there as well. So when we start moving the camera, they'll stay in position. It's a good spot in there, Janie. Right, where did we get to over on the tubes? Tubers, do say hello as well. You're a little bit quieter, but we want to hear from you all there. But if you can, do us a favour, that little like button at the top really helps us reach more and more people there like yourselves. Where did we get to in your chat? We did that one. Yes, like always with us humans, they always take everything out of context. Even Travis said years later that they might have been trying to help him. Exactly, Travis Cameron, that's his current conclusion, I think, isn't it? There, that he thinks that's the case. And I think we're evolutionary programmed for it. We're, perceive danger first. That has kept us safest, isn't it? Perceive the worst and then work on the best there. It's interesting how that affects all of our decisions and our perceptions of these things and the choices we might make. And Real Tony's in from Arkansas. I think you might be our very first from Arkansas in there. How are your skies tonight there? And that Glue Rung as well there. Third top secret of the third secret of Fatima can be understood by reading A Night in Zagreb by Medvici, and it sounds like alien invasion in the mists of the new Cold War. Oh, that is really interesting. Has it come out then, the new secret, the third secret of Fatima? I thought that one was kept secret. Is it come out now? But now, very interesting there. Thank you for sharing that one. I'll have to try and remember to look that one up there. Oh, we beat France. Well, at least we did something right there. Lilac and Living Light there. What if good and bad, light and darkness, are not a mistake? Maybe they are very mechanism through which creation experiences itself. It deepens itself and ultimately loves itself into a greater being. Bang on living light. The opposite ends of the spectrum, high and low, they are inevitable parts of a life. And even some negative things, they have value in teaching us things. I think you're totally right with that one. I don't think our interpretation of as humans of we want to avoid everything that feels bad, and I can understand that. I do it myself, but again, I don't think it's the right way to view things. Be careful what you wish for. If we could eliminate all of the bad, what world would we be left with there? See, sorry, eating pizza, man. Did never apologise for that. And great stuff, Tonkin. Thank you there, and good to have you in. Exactly, Rachel. Never apologise for eating pizza there. C2. What was that one? Oh. I'm a bit late. Sorry there, V, for that one. Where did we get to in the chat? Loving the Vegas stickers. Did that one. Shendy as well there. Thank you for the follow and the hashtags, V. Rose 2, where are you guys joining us from? Mark, have you seen any meteors tonight? Not yet, actually. Not yet, which is quite surprising. The other night we did have a nice few. Rose, good to see you there. And Mr. 1 there. Oh, sorry, MBR1 there. What are those lines appearing and disappearing? So that is our tracking software. It's a little bit spicy tonight. Let me see if I can change the settings on that, because it's trying to track a few things that aren't there. It means I haven't got the settings quite right, but we have to tweak it as the brightness changes. The idea is that there are going to be a lot of moving things up there in the night sky. I think there's about 15,000 or more man-made satellites up there, so there's a lot going on. And when there's multiple on the screen at any one time, we need a little bit of assistance there to identify and to look out for that anomalous behaviour, because we need to see these things stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. See, like this one here, it's just very faint, you're seeing it there. We need to, so it'd be hard to see otherwise, so we need to see that thing stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory to tell us for sure that it's not one of the many man-made satellites up there. So this is designed to identify the movement, predict its straight path if it is a satellite or something normal in orbit, and then, if it's green, it's probably just that. It's not giving us evidence that it isn't. If it goes red, then pay more attention, because it could be something a little bit stranger. We are building it ourselves, so there are a few bugs. See, like this one, see the line is ever so slightly separating from it there now. So that means the time it gets further out here, it might actually make it go red, because there's a bit of a distance there. So we've got to do it there. And Lethal, yeah, we France there. MB as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. And Stephen there. Aliens are useless from the future, watching us destroy ourselves. As in, do you mean us from the future? Because I've heard, yeah, they could be us in the future, and it makes a lot of sense to me, like a lot. If you think of all of the accounts that people have had with the phenomena, the chances of evolution converging so closely, so closely. Oh, good use of the interactive grid. What's in that one there? Oh, there's that one in there. That one's not being tracked.
Zoom mode activated.
That one should be tracked. In fact, I'm gonna just turn this tracker sensitivity down a little bit more, see if it picks that one up, because we want it to pick that one up. Why is it not picking that one up versus the others? Like, it's picking up those fainter ones, but that was a nice clear one. It's picking up things that aren't there. But hold on, let's to there. Still got to play with a few things with it there. Good work with the interactive grid. But it's it's watching us destroy ourselves from the future. It could be. It could be. The fact you said the evolution. There you go. There's one that's its tracking did not get it right, so it's gone to red. They're still worth watching though, in case it does something strange. But it makes sense, the future us hypothesis. But I don't think they would come in and stop us from. I think TikTok's having a sulk there. I don't know, the little warnings come up. But I don't think they'll stop in for everything. I don't think we can rely on, benevolent space brothers to sort out all of our problems. I think we have to do that as humanity. It's a cop-out asking somebody else to save us all the time. We have to learn and figure it out ourselves, and sadly, that's going to come at a high cost. Ultimately, though, they may be watching to make sure that we don't do anything that we, as a species, can't come back from, like an all-out nuclear war, maybe. Maybe they're kind of just stepping in at those levels. Because, if we are as horrible and as mean and as nasty as we talk about ourselves being all the time, why have we not nuked ourselves into oblivion in the last 70, 80 years, whatever it is, since nuclear weapons have been around? That for me is a bit of a paradox. If we are this horrible, nasty, miserable group of people there that's not capable of it, well, then why haven't we wiped ourselves out there? Why have we now got, more nature reserves than we have there? Why do we now care more about the environment? It's a bit of a thing. So maybe they're there just to kind of keep us, maybe the reason is that we are bad and that they're, the ones keeping us from doing that. They're the ones stepping in each time and stopping us, maybe. I think as a parent, you've got to let your child make mistakes, but not enough, again, that they can't come back from. So that is the letting them fall off of their bike occasionally as they learn to get their balance, but not letting them ride in front of the road, in front of oncoming traffic. It's maybe they're there to do that sort of thing. And not looking at the TikTok of the second. I am now. I'm going back through it a second. Dara as well, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there. The memberships, the merch, the Patreons, all that jazz. It all goes back into the stream. Keeps going red, then white. Oh, that one, yes, that was the star that was I noticed earlier. Some of them is when you look at it. Oh, I noticed. I've seen a few of these before, and as soon as I go to zoom in on it, it goes back to white. But it's a distinct red, and then it's there. And Denise says, well, hey, I have just filmed the ISS over here, and I have sent a video, but I have no idea how to cut the bits to you. So, honestly, we'd love to see it, even without, any of the cuts and stuff there. But that is cool. Well, I'll check that one out, Denise, as well, when it's done. Thank you for that. The ISS is always amazing to see. Honestly, how many times in a row did it catch me out? Because it's so much bigger and brighter than all of this. Even if it was the next day, I'd go, oh, my God, what's this? We've got one. That's the bloody ISS again there. V coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that. V, my mum says, my mum's watching there. Can she get a shout? Of course, there. OGV's mum, thank you very much for making such a wonderful member of our community there. I'm sure she gets it all from you. And hello, what's your mum's name? It's Ali. It's at the end there. It was right there. Hello, Ali. Alan says hello too, as well there. Good to have you in. Where are we there? We have time, yeah, exactly. And have you ever tracked anything else than man-made satellites like a UFO? So, yeah, we definitely have had the interesting ones, the ones that put the U in UFO. What they are, we don't have the technology to confirm. Are they ET flying as they go by? It's not for me to say. I hope it is, in a way, but I can't say for sure. All we can say is that they, are not satellites because of their movement. That's not how satellites can move there as well. And again, it's unlikely to be secret military tech, because that's a bit of a gap of the gods argument, isn't it? Oh, it's the secret military stuff. I'm sure the military do have things far more advanced than us. But when you're talking about space travel, you're not talking about this engine is 10 times faster. The issue that we have is getting enough fuel up there to do those movements. It's very expensive. Like, you're seeing how the fighters, the X-Wings from Star Wars, they dart about in space. We don't do that because that takes so much rocket fuel, so much power. You just couldn't carry that much with you. So that what they're doing up there is they're working with the orbits, the motion that they're already in there, and it's slight adjustments over long periods of time to adjust their courses. They don't carry enough fuel, and that's where the big issue is. We've got fast thrusters, but we don't have ability. We don't have any, fuels that can do that strong enough to just do that sort of behavior. You've got to work with the orbits. That's why I don't really feel that when we're seeing that real extreme stuff, which is very rare, that the military stuff can account for that, unless there is something to the reverse engineering stuff, or the very least that they have classified real physics, and they've been working secretly behind the scenes to allow for a totally different way of functioning. That could be. And that's a nice bright one down here. Should we have a look at this?
Zoom mode activated.
It'll help if I actually press the button. That's a nice being a bright one there, but that's on course, on track. And it's slightly deviating. Keep your eye on that one. V coming in with a gift. Thank you for those. Where did we get to? And Joanne's, well, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from there? Denise, I also saw a shooting star, but wasn't filming at the time. Always catch you out there. The amount of strange things that I have seen. The amount of strange things that I've seen when I'm setting the camera up and I don't get good videos of them. I'm always mesmerised, and then I just don't focus in. And yeah, it's so hard, isn't it, to get good stuff there. And is that Abravan, then, is that how pronouncing there? How are you doing there? Is that a satellite? Most likely. So statistically, most of them are going to be man-made satellites. There's a hell of a lot of them up there. So, you know, if we call 100 of these objects man-made satellites, then 99 times we're going to be right. But these objects that we're seeing up now, these were seen as well before man had satellites up there, well before man had satellites. So there are other things up there that look like this that we don't know what they are, and they've been there for a very long time. So, you know, we can't say for sure until we can map these directly with known man-made satellites, where we can't confirm 100% that they are, though we are working on that. But what we're doing now, what we can do from here is we can look for their movement. We can look for the ones that act a little bit strangely, the ones that stop dead, shoot off at speed, and change their course or trajectory. That tells us for sure 100% that they're not space junk man-made satellites. Shooting stars or things like that. But you come in with the hashtags and feed him, feed Alan as well there. And Poopnug, how are you doing? Thank you for the follow there. And Ranswell, thank you for the share. Guys, it is the shares, the likes, the tapping away, all of that stuff there. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. So the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the more we can piece this puzzle together. Ace as well for the shares. And Tom, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tube, see where we got to. Do say hello, guys. Let us know where you're watching from. But we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country here, just down the road from Stone Henge. In fact, this little town has had its own big history with UFO flaps. In the 60s and 70s, it went on for 10 years solid. They're actually the best hotspot of UFOs I've ever heard of. And yeah, I hadn't heard of it until moving here. So it doesn't get the publicity it deserves, but it had absolutely everything all of the time for 10 years solid. Crashes, landings, abductions, lights in the sky, missing time, dead animals. You name it. It was weird. Where did we get to? Over on here. A peaceful world there, getting rid of the bad. So that's I think the mistake we make, and that's why we aren't successful in doing it there. I think it's understanding the bad. Obviously, the individual actions and things like that. It's all about minimizing that. But I don't think you can fully eliminate the bad. We have to appreciate it's on a spectrum and just try and minimize it. And I tried to finish a term for pizza. Trying to find another term for pizza since the files. Oh my God, yes, top to dough. That just sounds even worse. Living like it's not using code there. YouTube, please let V in. I know, right? Well, God knows what V's done to offend the YouTube gods. They're worried for us blowing ourselves up, and including the planet. It could be the case. It could be the case. It's something we have to be conscious of. We can't let ourselves off for our responsibilities for these things. So I will definitely argue on one side that we need to be. We need to be not as scared and dramatic with ourselves, our attitude towards ourselves. I don't think it's helpful, but I also don't think we should be letting ourselves off for our bad actions as well. I think it's trying to find a more of a healthy balance. What was moving in C3 witness? I don't know. C3, good spot in there. So sometimes for some reason it's trying to track. It keeps doing this one. There's something about here that it's trying to track. Maybe it's if we zoom in, there is motion. Maybe it's taking that, but it should be allowing for that, which is weird. Zoom back out there. So I don't know why that one is. That's a nice colour there. Is that a green? Oh, look, again, it goes white. Well, it's getting a green from that one. I think that is the atmospheric interactions with that one. Keep an eye on us and shh. 164, well done there. Hello, everybody. Do make sure you're following or subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are. Said we're on pretty much every night. So if it's a clear sky, it's the UFO UAP, a Skywatch. If it's a cloudy night, then it's the alien radio signal hunt. We are searching the hydrogen line, hoping to hear ET say hello, where the wow signal's heard, and where scientists think we are most likely to hear a message from ET. And if the moon's up, we do a moon stream as well. So yeah, hopefully you'll get us notifications when we go live. Amanda in C2, A4. I've missed that one. Sorry, Amanda. Have you got anybody over on the tubes working the interactive grid? I'm not sure. How does the tracking software work? It's so cool. Thank you, Tom. It works by me swearing at it a lot, basically. The idea is that it is looking to identify motion on the screen. So those little white target signals, if something is moving enough pixels, basically, it will give it a target signal. symbol over it. And then if the that thing moves, it will plot its course, it will draw it, and then it will predict, based on where it has been, predict a straight line in front of it and in a dashed line, and then it will follow it along. If it follows that straight line at a consistent speed, then it is probably, or it's not giving us information to say that it's anything anomalous. So it'll be green, going, hey, we're tracking it, but it's probably nothing special yet. If it goes red, then that means to pay a closer look, because it could be doing something strange and therefore warranting it. And when we've got multiple objects on the screen at any one time, it is useful to struggling with that. It's a little bit too dim for it. Yeah, the difficulties that we have is that, you know, obviously with the motion of the quality there, and depending on the light contrast as well, if the dots are dimmer, then if we make it more sensitive, it starts to pick up the twinkle and try and track the twinkle. And we're right on that line now. It's where we're getting a few random ones that are not coming through. But it's very much a work in progress. Phase 2, well, phase 1 is to finish trying to refine getting more accurate predicted paths. Phase 2 is going to be getting the software to know what part of the sky it's looking at by identifying the stars. Once it's done that, not only we can label the stars and kind of go, this is cool, tell us what we're looking at, but it will then also tell us, we'll be able to then match the tracked objects and the position night sky with a database of available like satellites that are currently over our position, so we'll be able to know what they are. So then again, if we're getting something that isn't labelled and it's moving strangely, that heavily gives us multiple points of evidence, you know, towards the phenomena itself. So we're working on it slowly. When we say it all goes back into the stream, I literally mean it. It's we're always working to improve it. And could it be that the fighters in the Colosseum of the ancient Roman Empire with human-animal hybrids? I've not heard that one, but you're making me think of the Egyptian gods there, those sort of hybrids there. And remember the purple object that had come into view twice? Oh yeah, Rachel. God, I'd forgotten about the purple one. And who was in when we saw that one? It was moving in a straight line at a consistent speed. So it didn't give us that, but it was flashing repeatedly, regularly, which again isn't necessarily anomalous. It's cool to look at, but every flash was a distinct different color: red, green, blue, red, green, blue. Now that defies, it doesn't break the physics of things, but it defies how normal satellites are. It's something we've never seen ever again. As well, watching from the north in Newcastle, good to have you in there, Joanne, as well. You know what, Newcastle, I've been through on the train many times, but I've never actually been. I do want to actually go at some point. Anything strange in those skies there? And WRX there, nice, thank you, and good to have you in, sir. Rachel, they're destructive here, but yeah, I get to the erasing of the bad people part. That makes a lot of sense. Detecting something near Lyra or under the constellation. Oh, maybe is that so? Yeah, because Lyra is this part, is this sort of area here. Maybe there, Rachel. Maybe it is detecting something we can't fully see with our eyes. And Tom, oh, did you write the code yourself there? I haven't seen this type of thing deployed out in the field yet. No, so it's, well, you say we're making ourselves like fully, hence why it's not quite perfect yet. We do make a lot of the stuff available to other people. So once it's ready, I think it probably will be made available on our site. So we've already got lots of other sensors, you know, like solar wind speed, solar flare activity, geomagnetic index. We monitor all of that stuff, and people can bring them up at any time on our site. There's human residents there, the flight tracker that we bring up. In fact, we can bring that up right now. So this one we use that shows us, you know, if there's any planes or anything in the area. So if we want to confirm a sighting, we can just confirm if there is anything there, and there isn't anything. Nope. That's also available to you guys. But our radio SETI, the one that I bring up for this, that is actually on all the time. If I shut up, you can hear it there. That's the sound of the hydrogen line. So it's always going, and that is on the on our site there. You just got to go onto our website, register with the same email that you use on the Patreon, even the free tier, so you don't have to pay. But that way it knows you're not a bot if you're going to be on there. But yeah, you can access all them. So we'll probably make it available there. Oh, the dog whistle is on there for you guys as well. Oh, the potato. I haven't seen that in ages. Thank you for the humbling potato there, V. But yeah, you're right. So you will be, if you've got good enough speakers, you can plug in to our website and you know, use the dog whistle yourself to summon in, or to try and summon in the craft there. And maybe they have had the same thing happen to them, but it had burned the atmosphere. I could believe that one. I think we're not going to be that different. Maybe we're just further down the chain. I think very much could be the case. And watching from Chandler there. Is that Arizona? Is he there? We Skywatch in Sedona, and just did a chopper Skywatch in the Superstition Med. Oh my God, Tom, what is the best thing you've seen there? Like that, just for me, is like the dream. Like if I could get to some of your places you've got, got over there. Just not only is it a beautiful landscape, and I imagine the night sky is going to be fantastic there, but also just those skies have got to be filled. Thank you for Tom. Yeah, what's the best thing you've seen there as well? And I remember the purple object, like it happened yesterday there. I even showed my mum it, and she was amazed how purple. Some of them is crazy. I mean, even Vega's looking big, beautiful, and purple right now, isn't it? So Vega is a star 26 light years away from us here on Earth there, burning much brighter and much hotter, so it won't last as long as our star. Our sun is a little bit smaller, isn't it? It's actually not a large one. And have you ever seen a UFO there, YouTuber Rossi? Yes, we have definitely seen some anomalous things. Again, we're limited in what we can say 100% down here, but when we see something stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory, we know that it is not a man-made object. It's not, a shooting star. It's not a drone or anything like that. At these altitudes, they can't behave like that. So that gives us 100%. But it just means unidentified. What the hell it is, don't actually know. Be going through Salisbury and Warminster on Monday. Amanda, give us a wave as you pass by there. Where are you on your way to? Maybe an invisible object. It could be tracking, and just thinking out loud. Hey, that's how the best thoughts happen, Rachel, there. I'm trying to think, what it could be picking up. I'm going to have an investigation there, because maybe there are things that we don't perceive that it could do as well there. Oh, a nice radar. I have my own Doppler radar, but lots of red tape with the FCC. Oh my God, Tom, bang on. I was looking at that sort of thing. So this one is, sadly, it's the passive radar. So it's just the stuff that's readily available on, Flight Radar or all the other websites like that. So the publicly available one. So again, it's not going to have 100% of everything on there. It's just, the military stuff, they can turn it off. We're not bouncing our own radio signals. With your Doppler, you can out there. I've been looking into it, but yeah, the red tape is ridiculous. So I don't think we're going to be able to do that one directly, but I would love to. You've got your freedom over there though, so you might have a better chance than we do. And Emilio there, question, have you interviewed people in the town or village or tried to speak with them about the sightings, UFOs and UAPs, or are people too reluctant, perhaps too afraid to talk? So I haven't yet. I have a few chats with people, but I've not really met anybody from that initial wave. Again, we're moving on a bit. At the time, though, a lot of them were interviewed, and their sightings are in the books, so I'm going through all of the old books, and that is really, really interesting there. But my next step is to kind of be a bit more public in the town, see if we can get some of those conversations. So I do hope it's going to happen soon there. I know some people that have, they have relatives that were directly there, but I've just not spoken to the relatives yet. And I can't say it's the best UFO video, but what I am best known for is recording the Phoenix Lights back in, oh my God, that is quite a crown there, Tom. That is quite a crown in the 1990s there. So as eyes on the ground, is there anything, can you tell us anything about that experience that doesn't come across in the video there? Because we hear all the time people go, oh, it's just the flares and stuff like that. But, and I know from the sightings and the things that I have experienced, I often don't have the words to describe it. I can tell that it's strange. I can tell, but when you're trying to convey that, is there anything? What would you do that? And this is why I love this platform, because we get to meet people just like Tom here, sharing those experiences you wouldn't have get to hear otherwise. There, some of the people we've had in have been amazing there, and it's a normal for Vega's atmosphere there. It's gorgeous seen through a scope too. I would love to. It's even more purple. Is it really? And YouTube Ross, no worries there. We always are. I love your questions, guys. So if you have got any questions, I'm over on the YouTube at the minute. I'm getting to the end of that, and then I'll bounce over to the TikTok and see where we get to with you guys. But do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from and ask away any questions you may have. It's honestly my favourite part. I mean, I love to see the sightings, of course, but the thing that has changed my understanding of the phenomena, moved my needle of belief, is hearing your accounts, just the range of them, how many of them are there as well. Oh, shout to Mallet to get off. Oh, yes, because that's where you're from, wasn't it? Where you grew up. Are you seeing family? Got told that you've seen the video with the lights that got switched on red with the orb next to it, but it vanished down. I can't remember what you said about the video. I can't remember. My problem, Rachel, is that I've got a memory like a bloody fish. Like, I know I'll see it again, and I'll go, yeah, okay, I remember it now, but my memory is just awful for those things, in one ear and out the other. I can run the radar, but if I get caught, the fines are 15 grand, and they take your equipment, but they fired so many they could have caught you there. So I am tempted to give it a crack here, but we are right next to we're on one of the biggest, I think, military training range in the UK. which doesn't say much because the UK is very small, but it's Salisbury Plain training areas. This town is a very military town. There are lots of bases and lots of soldiers that live here. And when we do our live Skywatches on location, we actually go to some old Iron Age hill forts that surround the town. Part of why the town is so weird is that we are literally in the middle of all these big hills, with the old settlements there. Part of that weird triangulation going on. But anyway, we did these Skywatch from up there, which is technically on the ranges, and we're up there a lot of the time with the military. So I think they might notice if we do start to play around. But I really would love to. That would be such a useful tool for us. It's definitely something invisible up there in the sky next to my house there. I even said to my mum, could it be car lights? But these were so fast. Yeah, often, again, we lack the words. We know it's anomalous. You know, our gut is telling us, but yeah, the conversation around it. And Tom, the video I shot for that night turned out later to be flares. But the other sightings that night of the boomerang and the triangles, those are very, very large alien ships. Did you see them as well that night yourself there? And Lloyd, I know Rachel, it starts to, doesn't it? You know, the amount that we've seen. You got to watch them all, because you never know which one is going to be the eureka, and they all start to chip away, don't they? They all add as a weight of evidence. But yeah, sometimes it's very hard to remember the specifics there. And yes, when you are going on location, you can run the Doppler radar there, because it's a one-off, and you leave, so you can take it with you. Take it with me to Sedona, but need a pole. Yeah, you don't want to be right next to those bloody things. Yeah, I think they might wind up noticing us here right on the training area, but I am tempted to tempt it. I'm tempted to push my luck with some of these things. We are saving up at the minute to do our Skywatches, not just locally, but do a UFO hotspot tour of the UK, starting off with Rendlesham Forest over in Suffolk, where the landing/crash may have happened in the early 80s, just outside the US Air Base there. That is they're going to be the first stop on our list there. I'll catch you later, Rachel, as well there. How long? What is the time? Yeah, we've still got another half an hour at least of the stream, but if it's a clear night, we might push it a little bit longer. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the TikTok. Where did we get to? In the chat over on here, we get to Ace and Tom there giving us a follow. Thanks for that. And it's a UFO V, maybe. And T there, hi from Canis. What was that? I can't even see it. Oh, cans. Sorry, I didn't see the exclamation mark. Cans. They're very cool. They are very fancy. I like that. How are the skies? Right on the coast there, so I imagine you should have quite good views. Have seen anything strange? And Adam coming in with the shares as well. T, thank you for the follow. V, can we see the starship? Yes, we can. We've only got one thing on screen. So, guys, I won't have it on the screen for long because you don't want to make sure we're missing anything there. I have got it on a big monitor, so if anything amazing happens, I will see. But this is the starship Alan. It'll take a second to load for you guys over on the TikTok. There we go. So this is a visualization of all of our Patreon supporters. I can't get the YouTube members in just yet, but I'm working on it. So if you sign up to the Patreon, even the free tier, your little dot will come in with your name and your little icon there. And if you log onto our website and make an account said the same thing, you can come in and edit your dot and do some extra fancy things. But yeah, it's like a little ant farm watching you guys all running around the ship. Vinny looks like he's in the engine room there. Where is Kate? Because I can't really zoom in on this on my screen. Alan is in the lab. Oh, Kate's in the warp core, got to worry about that. V is moved away from the jazz lounge. Looks like V's heading for the bar. Surprise, surprise. Who else is about that? Oh, Alan is now in the probing room with Carl. There we go, Carl. That happens a lot. Anyway, let's take that away because we want to make sure we are still watching the night sky. But yeah, when it's a slower stream, or we're doing the steady ones, that comes up a little bit to see what you guys are up to. There it is a little bit of fun. And if you want to see yourself there, I said all you've got to do is sign up to the Patreon. The free tier works for it. And then when it updates, you'll be in there too. And if you said use the same email on our website to create an account, then you can access that. You can change. I think if you link your Discord, you get the pinging effect, the little pulsing effect for your dot, but you can change your picture. You can hide yourself if you don't want to be on it. You can give yourself your favorite room. So like if you want to call yourself the chef, you can give yourself that title, and then you can tick a box or select that room, and then you'll be out. Your character will spend most of their time in there as well. The transporter room actually does work, so we've got to set the number. But in theory, what will happen is if we get too many that's in the starship, we can give it an overflow, and people will just take it in turns coming in and out via the transporter room as well. There, so that was another feature I was working on yesterday. We haven't brought it out much since the winter because we've had so many good clear skies there. And poor man there. So this signal we get every 16.3 days, what do you think it is? I don't know. I've only heard a little bit on that one specifically, but if it's that regular, you know what? I don't know. I don't know for that one. I'm going to have to look into it a bit more, poor man, I think, for that one, because there is definitely lots of regular repeating signals out there in nature. But they telling us what type of signal it is? Because organic radio signals, remember guys, radio isn't just man-made technology. It's a natural phenomenon we have adapted for communication, for our technology here. But it's nature's language. It's what the universe talks and screams in radio. So, but nature's radio signals are very messy. They're very wide band. You can kind of tell 99% of the times if it's an organic one. But the interesting ones, technological signals, it's how we tell the difference, are normally quite precise and quite targeted there. So is it that sort of signal? Is it technological? And Captain, how are we doing, Blue Nose? Thank you for that. It's very, very kind of you there. Starman, well, very, very kind. Hope you're doing well there, Captain. And so it all goes back into the stream. Help us improve what we're doing. But yeah, I'll have to have a look more. They told us what the signal type looks like. And Drugu there as well. Hey, haven't been in for a while. How are you doing? Oh, it's United. We are all good, United. I hope you are well. Been up to anything exciting? V coming in with the Vegas stickers. And Laura Lass, good to have you in tonight. How are you there? V coming in with the hashtags and the shares. Guys, it is the tapping away the shares and all of that stuff there that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, say, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. Where do we get to in the chat? And are you talking about the Black Knight satellite? I can't remember where he was in the chat when you sent that one. That's a nice bright one. But the Black Knight is an interesting satellite. Now, I don't necessarily need there to be a specific satellite. I mean, there are, I think, images that people claim could be the Black Knight, and they look interesting. I've heard some interesting debunks of those. But the principle that an alien civilization would have been curious and put a probe in orbit of Earth to kind of keep monitoring on us, I think there's quite a high probability to that, just of the age of the universe and the vastness of it. And there are plenty of things up there in the night sky that we track. We don't know what they are, and we don't know where they come from. And my suspicion tells me, my gut tells me, that's what the space shuttle program was actually for. That's what. And so maybe they did go up there and have a look at some point of some of these things. I bet we can in Texas. Oh, that's the radar, poor man. I would imagine so, and I am very envious of that. And Zat Bay as well there. What are these lines? So they are our tracking lines, and they are trying to just highlight the movement to us. Sometimes it's quite faint, or if there's multiple on the screen, we can easily miss it. And this gives us a little visual marker there that, base for if anything starts to look interesting or anomalous there. We need to see these things stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because that, for us, is slam dunk unidentified, anomalous there. The man-made objects, satellites, things just can't behave like that. So if we see in that behavior, then hey, that's payday for us. So that's what it's designed to look for. So look out for when they go red. Don't fully rely on it yet. It's not 100%. So keep following with your eyes, because it only takes that last minute hesitation, course correction there, change of speed to tell us for sure that it is something anomalous there. And there. And Kate as well, I think I put it in the Discord video. I can't remember what section it was. Oh, thank you, Kate. I probably totally missed it there. Where are we there? I did state that in... you did... it's Rachel's video there. I'll have to scan through. It does ring a bell. Was it a while back, or is this a recent one? And what is it? Just satellites is picking up there. And surely these ain't all satellites. I think you're very right there, babe. So, most likely... is going to be satellites, because of just statistics. There's just so many of them up there in the night sky, and they're quite highly reflective, so most of the time that is what we're going to see. But we can't say that it is 100% a satellite unless we can confirm it with some other data, and likewise we can't say it's anomalous either. In fact, ET flying around from A to B, they're going to look very, very similar. They're going to be reflecting that light down to us to look the same. They're going to be going in a straight line most of the time. There's not much to avoid up there. So most of the time, again, it's going to look the same. So what we're doing is quite a high bar, but the only way we can be sure, again, is by that movement. So until we see then, we just say it's probably a satellite. But it doesn't mean that it definitely is there. DJ as well, coming in with gifts. Thank you for those. All goes back into the stream. Yeah, it doesn't mean it definitely is. Just means statistically, it is most likely. Pressing the wrong buttons there. But these objects like this were seen before man had satellites up there, so it's not going to be all of them. Where are we? In here as well there. UFO, exactly. Is it 15,000? Yeah, at the minute, at least. That's like the latest updated one, but there's always ones going on. It might be closer to 16,000. Most of those are Starlink. And did you see the ISS? We did, but it didn't look much brighter than a normal satellite earlier. And it was quite cloudy and low on the horizon this time. So we'll catch it another night. It comes round in phases, doesn't it? There, V as well coming in with the shares there. And it's 14,500 satellites in Earth orbit. There, it's number it definitely changes frequently. Wasn't it like 12,000 when we started a year ago? So it's going up a lot. Circling the total number of tracked objects circling the planet exceeds 46,000. Insane. So that's all the space junk, the debris there, the odd little rocks that are flying around. Again, there's lots of things up there that are tracked. We don't know what they are, where they come from. And some of them do act strange there. Oh, can we see Andromeda if it's there? Good question. So, possibly. Let me spin the camera around because we might be able to get it in shot tonight. We are normally able to, but I think I have moved the camera's alignment, so it might be slightly off. So I'll have to have a look in a second there. And Starlink, approximately 10,000 plus there, making over 65%. It's crazy. SpaceX does 95% of mass to orbit. So that of all the stuff up there, it's brought up by 95% is SpaceX there. And is it Melcon as well there? Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? I think the Black Knight is real. I think the Black Knight in concept is, I'm very high conviction on that there's going to be something like that just over the period of time that the Earth has existed and had life, and that, you know, the chances for other people to come across that and be curious. Now, whether like those specific images that people talk about as a specific, then, you know, I'm less, but I think there could be definitely something to it. Is it track space debris? 30,000 pieces of debris there, larger than a softball, and that is very, very dangerous. Even smaller than that, you know, it could be very, very dangerous. Tap away there, Blue Nose. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that as well. Tip V as well. TikTok keeps kicking you out there. Again, you've offended them. You're on their watch list. And it was a while ago, yeah. Check the personal experiences first. I won't be in the journal. I'll have to have a scroll through, see if I can catch one. Thank you, Kate, for the heads up there. Better memory than I have. And Dr. Day, I wanted to go see the Ring Nebula today, but now there are clouds everywhere. Oh my God, I feel that pain. I'm like a petulant child when I think it's going to be clear and it turns out to be cloudy. I'm like stamping. It's like I can't control the weather, but yeah, it winds me up every single time. So I feel your pain there. Hopefully you can live vicariously through us with our currently clear skies, but let's not take it for granted. Getting sleepy now there, your words are blurry, not making sense. 12,000 words, not bad, Kate, not bad. We need to hear this when it's done. We need a copy, signed of course. And in addition to the millions of smaller untracked fragments there, and even those, they're still very dangerous. And what if our consciousness that were in an ancient iCloud, and we're the memory? Oh, yeah, the remnants of it. You know what? The universe is so much weirder than I think we have got even our grasp on there. Could well be tick tick. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the YouTube. Where did we get to with you guys? So, guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We are coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So, lots and lots of weird stuff in the skies over the years. Do help us spot the strange anomalies. If you call out the grid, if you do see something the tracker hasn't picked up, or maybe it has and I'm not paying enough attention, the mod can, if it's interesting, highlight the interactive grid, and that will draw my eye to it no matter where I am in the chat. But do say hello and let us know what you're all watching from tonight there. UFO UAP automatically detects and then records things that move across the screen. It uses AI to figure out what it might be. So Tom, I've been looking at those. They're pricey, those set. I think it's the UAP ones, and it's very interesting. I'd love to get a rig like that operating all of the time, and maybe then we can actually have the video feed for that going constantly. I think that would be pretty cool. There, and I recently. Neil there, I recently watched I'm going to get this pronunciation very, very wrong. Sorry for any Welsh people in there. The Penrich UFO sighting, and why is nothing made more public about this one. So, Neil, bang on. You would think, wouldn't you, right, and this is definitely my understanding, that if there were big old fucking UFOs over populated areas, that would be it. It'd be in the news. Everyone would see it, it'd be on the news, it'd be front page, and then the world would know that UFOs and aliens are real. But that's not what happens. It's happened many, many, many times in the past with multiple different people seeing the same thing, just like that incident there, just like the Phoenix Lights as Tom experienced there as well. But it doesn't. You might get a little bit of attraction here and there, but most of the time it doesn't make the news in a serious way, and it fades out there. People still question it and all that sort of stuff there. So news doesn't travel or information doesn't spread in the ways that we are told. You know, you tell one person who tells two people, who they individually tell two people, and you know, the snowball effect there. That's not how it works at all, sadly. But we are getting into the modern era where it's working more like that, with the way we are so connected tonight, like we're doing all this from all around the world. We're here to share. So if we see the mothership flying over right now, we don't have to rely on word of mouth and our words not conveying that effectively. No, we're all going to see it. That's going to be, what are we, 100? There's going to be 200 people, if that's right now, would see that thing across the night sky. You know, and it'll be recorded as well. So it's going to get, this is why I think there is disclosure slowly happening. It's because they can't keep it a secret anymore. We're too far connected. And if they try, as they do, to limit us, to block our ability to share this information, they block commerce, they block good ideas, they block trade, they block creativity and science progression. So they just can't do it anymore. So they're releasing just little bits just to kind of maintain it as much as they can. But ultimately, where this leads is, you know, I think, you know, whatever is going on, we're going to hear it more. Because whatever is going on seems to be, if you look at it, been going on the whole time. You look at the religious text, you look at the folklore, you know, it all seems to have been going on for a ridiculously long amount of time. There, Robert there from Naples. Good to have you in. Definitely our first from there. How are your skies? Right on the coast, I imagine. On there, so lots of sightings, because you get the old lots of activities over the sea your way. And we could use this software in Sedona there, watching the Milky Way at night there. Well, Tom, 100%, if you're familiar with Discord, join us over there, give us a message, link in bio for that. It's our little online community. It's like a forum / messaging app version there, so all sorts of stuff. But when we have it ready, we'll let people know there. And yeah, I'd love to see, you know, test again. It's not perfect, but or maybe we can improve it in time. Get everybody around the world, the more eyes on the skies, as we say, is, you know, the better, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. And is that paranoid as well? Anyone seen anything white, a really bright white light there, travel slow and then disappear upwards? Or good question. So we do get a lot of these moving objects you see on the screen that are kind of like various brightnesses. Don't think we've got any bright ones on the screen at the minute. In fact, I'm going to spin the camera around, so let me stop the tracker. But yeah, lots of sightings like that. Now the movement is where they get interesting. Whereabouts in the world did you spot it there? Doug, greetings. No, love that one, Gaz. And oh, Rich, that one message hasn't come through there. It's been redacted for some reason, so you might have to try rewording it so we can check that one. And Tom, you already have the camera there. The UFO software is like $90. Oh, is it really? You can just get the software, and I have it fully automated on a computer watching a 4K down camera. I didn't know that. I thought you had to buy the full rig, because if that's 90 quid, then definitely. Oh my God, Tom, have you got a link for that one? Because yeah, that would be right up my street. That's that's really interesting for that one. And living light it's evident from many old paintings that UFOs and extraterrestrials have been sighted throughout the century. We've interpreted them different. Holding your hats, guys, and spin the camera. See if we can find Andromeda as well. Oh no, we've just found a cloud, so let's not go that way. But yeah, I do think it has been here for a very long time. You take off that layer of human interpretation, because they're just doing the best at trying to identify what they're seeing with the tools and the experiences and the knowledge that they have at the time. No, we were in a better patch of the sky. Let's go back to roughly where it was. But you're doing the best, and no wonder they're going to get some of those things slightly wrong. We are all products of our experience and our knowledge, aren't we? We can't get it 100%. But yeah, so you take off their interpretation, go, what did they see? Lights in the sky, small people taking away other people to distant realms there, the sounds, and, you know, just reading a book at the minute talking about the crop circles and stuff here. I always think of it as a modern phenomenon, but there are multiple cases throughout history that are interpreted as fairy circles, as devils mowing, and all this sort of stuff. Similar things going on for a very long time. Whatever the phenomena is, it's been here a very long time. And I've seen a UFO over London years ago. Thought it was a helicopter, but it felt so it left like all the same people see there, and the speed was amazing from a standstill. Now, Rich, funny you say that, because we had a chap, he was an ex-Met police officer in our community. He'd been with us for months, and I've never seen anything. I'm open to it, but I've never seen anything there. And we questioned him, if you're no, never seen anything. Somebody come in and shared an experience just like that. And he went, oh shit, no, I have seen something. And what it was, he had seen exactly that over a tower block in London. He saw this big bright light above there, and he thought, is that the police helicopter? Because this was back in the early 90s, not much air traffic over London there. They had one police helicopter. And so he calls in, radios in, goes, is whatever they call it, the chopper, is that in the air? No, it's on the ground. Oh, that's strange. And he's watching it. It did that shot straight up and out there at a ridiculous speed, far beyond what a helicopter could. And he goes, that was strange. And he saw it with his colleague there as well. So there's two people saw the same thing. And he yeah, and immediately forgot and never thought about it until somebody prompted now, which is very similar to Kurt Russell, was it? Who was the pilot that called in the sighting of the Phoenix Lights there. He basically called it in when he was in the plane. As soon as he got on the ground, forgot about it until we saw it on the news. So there's something about the phenomenon that it can just slip like that, and so very similar in light. Rich, very interesting. In London as well, with all that light pollution, it's hard to get sightings. Whenabouts was it? And Retro there, I've had some crazy encounters with footage. This had just popped up, so I subbed and joined to the Discord. Excellent there, Retro. Good to have you in so much. And eyes up, everyone. Much love from Australia. So good. Isn't it fantastic that we can all meet each other now? We can share our experiences to learn a bit more, share our theories to maybe try and understand what we are seeing a bit more. But also, we have got now this network of people on the ground. You know, just like a Retro there. In Australia there. Who did we have in from Florida and Texas earlier as well? And we've got Norway, the UK, Ireland, Scotland, all around. We have literally eyes on the ground absolutely everywhere now. This is a little network of people that can share their experience and all that there. So it's absolutely fantastic. What a world that we live in where we're able to do all this together, guys. So thank you for that. We do appreciate you all over for that one. And Tom, good join. Bang on. I am looking forward to that one, Tom. Yeah, if you've got that link to just put it in there somewhere, then or just point me in the direction to get that, and we can get that software. I would love to be running that as well on an all sky camera, and also if you can suggest a good dome camera for it as well. And I am living near Kingston upon Thames. I've seen more than a few of the times in the western sky, and not satellites but fast movers. Also in the north from where I am. Every now and then, and over the London area. TF, a good spot in there. Look, again, coming from just outside of London, Essex, didn't spot anything there, didn't even pay attention to the night sky, but just as you start to look, you do start to see. What's the best one you've seen there? And every now and then, Sam gives us the roller coaster feeling with a quick camera movement there, just to keep you on your toes. We have got a few clouds in tonight, but they're moving fast, guys, so don't worry too much there. Oh, Camberwell area, and it wasn't just me and friends too, so multiple points of witness as well with that. Phenomenal. How many people do you think that probably could have seen that as well, but just gone, oh, it's probably a satellite? You know, it just didn't enter their head that it's that anomalous for it to stand out. You know, it doesn't, just because we all see the same thing, don't mean we're all going to interpret it the same way. So, you know, like they probably, thousands of people probably saw that one, but don't remember they've seen it because it went in and went, it's probably not, and then just straight out again. You know, the phenomena, once we can share all these things fully with everybody around us, once everybody starts to, you know, appreciate it there, we're going to realize it is so active all the time. Been running a dome camera for 7 years there. They last in the 153 degree heat, and I don't know how there, but they all eventually record something. It's a numbers game, innit? The more eyes that we have running for longer, the more we can do it. So yeah, I've been looking at some all sky cameras mounted to the roof there, and the neighbours already think I'm weird because we've got this absolutely massive SETI dish now on the roof. When I was putting it on, they go, oh, what TV channels are you trying to get? And I'm going, should I tell them I'm looking for aliens? I think the light, though, is a giveaway. I've got a big window in front of me, and you can just see this big green room illuminated. So I think they probably already know I'm the local nutter. Two fast movers close to each other, which stopped dead in space and then blinked out. So that TF, that stopping dead, bang on, 100% not a satellite. That is it. The satellites just can't do that. So amazing there, that one. And it didn't shoot up. It was horizontal for your one. Wow. So yeah, that is very, very cool there as well. Right, okay, I'm going to bounce quickly back over to the TikTok. Guys, do say hello. SK, good to see you in. Guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight. Ask away any questions. We'd love to hear from you all. I'm just going to go start with V where we were in the TikTok. Thank you, V, for putting us putting the marker in there so I can find out where I was, and then I'll come back over to you guys on YouTube. But make sure you're following and subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we do this pretty much every night. Even though there's cloud, guys, look, we can see some movement still, and one of them's being tracked. Don't know why that one didn't get picked up. But yeah, we do this pretty much every night. If it's a clear sky, it's the UFO UAP Skywatch from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. And if it's a cloudy night, it's the alien radio signal hunt there. We're searching the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET is out there, that's where they put the message, where the wow signal is heard, and if the moon is up and I can be bothered, it's a moon watch, and it looks like that, and we see strange stuff there too. You should get those notifications when we go live. Quickly, before I get on with the TikTok chat and catch up there, let's check the flight radar. Is there anything in our local airspace? Oh, it wants to sulk. And let it go around the full way. And no, I don't think there's anything in our local area for that one. Where are we there? And Sarah there, what are those objects moving now? So most of them are going to be man-made satellites, but we don't know for sure which ones. So for us to say that they're anomalous, for us to be of interest, we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because that is behaviour that they just can't do. It breaks physics for our equipment there, man-made stuff. So then it puts it into the category of the U for UFO. What it is it ET waving as it goes by? I don't know. But we don't have many other options of what it could be. So that's what we're looking out for. That's what we're tracking. But until they do that, we just assume that they are man-made satellites. But again, that doesn't mean that 100% are. It's just that without any other information, statistically, that is going to be most likely. So it's a good question there, Sarah. And DJ there, check out orbital radar to tell you how many things are up there. Oh my God. Yeah, I'd love to bring in some data around that, because we should be able to theory and do that. Once the tracker's perfect and we can identify the stars in the night sky, then we can start to maybe label some of these objects too. Thanks for the link there, DJ. I'll see if I can copy that one now. Oh, TikTok's not letting me copy it. Right. I'll see if I can screenshot it and then do that. Thank you. And Bay there as well there. Can you analyze a video and see what you think about it? I can. I'm not an expert though, so I'm just like you guys here. I'm interested. I've seen the things that you've seen. I'm no more skilled or any more intelligent or any better on the subject matter here, but I'm always willing to have a look. So if you tag us in it, if you post it, or if you post it on the Discord there, and then I normally do try to message all of the ones that I can see, especially the personal experiences. If you're putting it out there, do try and reply and take a look. So I definitely feel free. The Discord is probably the best way to do that one. Link in bio for that. And thank you for the follow. And 28,759 total tracked objects there. 17,680 active satellites, operational payloads, and 8,000 debris fragments tracked in orbit, and 1,802 rocket bodies spent up. That is a lot more upper stages than I would have thought that was up there. I just thought they would have got rid of them, but I suppose not. Yeah, no, if they're getting... That is very interesting there. God, the statistics on those there. C4, not D, or D4 didn't track there. Good spot. And I wonder why that was, because that was definitely bright enough. I have been playing with the settings a little bit tonight, but where I keep changing the camera settings, trying to get that more stable, then there's always another bloody issue. B2, good spot in there. And R4, when I was a kid, I saw a huge bright light in the sky, and it looked like Iron Man falling back to Earth. How long was it like in the sky for? Was it like a shooting star where it was up there for a while, faded out, or there? And you could almost see the energy resisting the air around it, but I still can't figure out what it was. So most of those meteorites, they're gonna burn up quick. They're smaller, they'll heat up and blow up quick. So the longer it's in there, the more anomalous it can be. And I sent you a video there that we saw in my mum's garden in Surrey. Love that one, Bait. Thank you so much for sending that one in. What was it on? Was it on here, or was it on the TikTok, or on the tubes? Not tubes, the Discord. And I remember it falling really fast towards the Earth, but it wasn't a plane there. It wasn't plane level. It was lower. Oh, it was lower, but it's still having that. That is very interesting. R4. At the time you saw it there. Does Alan have a wake up button yet? You know what, Kate? Hold on, right. What's my to-do list with this sort of stuff? Hold on. Alan, wake up. There we go. And I want to do a shooting star counter as well, don't I? Trying to add those ones tomorrow. I'll catch you later, Janie. Thank you as always for joining us tonight. I appreciate you there. And I hope you can watch the video there. And I sent you some weird stuff in the skies a couple of times there. And so, excellent. I will 100% get around. It might take me a bit, but I will get around there. And Jalopy as well. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And R4, apologies for my quiet during the streams up until now. I'm here just busy doing things. R4, you don't have to apologise. It is always good to have you in. And also chatting, we love it, but you don't have to apologise. We're here whenever works for you guys there, and even if you get bored of aliens for a bit, you feel free to come back in 6 months time. There's never any pressure, but we do love to see you there. Screenshot the link for you. Thank you there, Kate. Very, very, very on it tonight there. Let me know if you want to send it to you. Thank you, Kate there. If you do get a chance in the Discord tonight, I appreciate that, but don't stress if not. And that was the orbital radar. I got that info. Awesome. I wonder if we can get data out of that and bringing that in onto the stream there. I was on TikTok, mate. Thank you. I will check. I'm the worst at TikTok message. I've got so far behind on those, but I'm gonna get myself this week back into a routine. So tomorrow, I'm gonna catch up on my messages. And DJ, you sent us the link as well. Thank you. There, I'll catch up on those. Hopefully tomorrow night, for tomorrow daytime for all of those there. Full night's sleep tonight. Yeah, my arse, Arthur. And Tricky Ricky there, thank you for the shares, guys. It's the shares, the likes, the tapping away, all of that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there. Like yourselves, the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the better. The more we can all piece this puzzle together. If you're new here, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to ask away any questions you may have. Maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it. Or if you've had an experience, we'd love to hear about that one too. And I'm not sure what it could be, Sam, but it was definitely very real. It's always been a core memory of mine. I know what you mean, like when you're looking back on those memories and you're like, oh, what you know, and as the memory of the memory of the memory with that can be quite tricky at times. That is, yeah, I do wonder. There's got to be, you know, limited options with these things. All right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes. Where did we get to with you guys? Yeah, got to SK, didn't we? And Emilio, over the past 40 years, you see bits and pieces of information about UFOs, but I think the government has a major hand in it, and that the national news has to report it first before they broadcast. Yeah, I think there's a good part of the active cover-up process going on with this. I do think that is the case, but I also think we underestimate how much we self-center and how much just that's how society works, you know, social judgment and things like that. If you're doing something different to your community, then that's an indicator that you're not quite the same as them. And in which case, if you're not quite the same as them in that way, maybe you're not in the other way. That's kind of how social judgment works and those sort of things. So there's an amazing amount of self-stigma that we will always put in place as humans. And I think that does a lot of the heavy lifting on the small scales. But because now we're seeing it more, and because our community doesn't mean the people that we live with in the same village anymore, we can, like we are all here tonight, we can all hang out together, and now we are all the same because we're all sharing this interest, you know, we're all part of this community, so we're more emboldened to share. And again, we'll meet more people like this, and then that mass, critical mass builds, hasn't it there? Amanda, good spot in there in B2, sorry I'm so far behind there. And did you see anything last night there? There was a fast mover going south on Discord or TF. No, what did we see? We saw a curved one last night. I caught that one. Very interesting curvature that was tracked. And from its standstill, like a chopper, and it must have been 4,000 miles an hour. Like, yeah, we just don't have technology that can do naught to that, you know. And also, it's like one of the things that it's with sound as well, isn't it? That, you know, a lot of these are reported as silent. Now, even if you were running everything on battery and super quiet electronic motors, which, you know, as technology is advancing, that becomes possible. With the displacement of air causes noise. So there's always going to be a certain amount of noise. The only way around it is warp drive, guys, which again
Zoom mode activated.
isn't fake. It's a real thing. The scientists have figured it out, but that one just disappeared. We can't build it because we don't have enough energy, but in theory it's real. It's the only way you do it, because then you're not technically moving. You're creating, the universe is moving around you. And was that, Tom, there, virtual radar is free software with RF USB dongle. You can pick up in 30 minutes all air traffic. Cheap home radar, awesome. So we're bringing it in from just those available databases there. So I didn't know you could do it that way. That could be very interesting there. And it was in a split second. So think how many people just missed it because it was so quick there, Rich, your sighting. And then think of the people again that saw it, but just didn't even flag for them as anomalous. And then there's the people like yourself there that probably saw it when that was strange and then kind of forgot about it for a while. And is that Ickle there? Ike, or maybe? I can't, sorry, that one. Do you, I think, the UFOs come out of portals? Oh, good question. So, portal, wormhole, warp drive there, they are all, for me, there's enough ambiguity, like we haven't collapsed those down into specifics culturally when we're talking about them, that they could all be very similar things. So I think that is definitely possible. You know, like, I think, you know, there's got to be, we know that conventional propulsion over these distances is just not feasible really for biological life. In the, you know, there might be a way that it can survive and we can, you know, panspermia can transfer life over these vast distances in that sense, but as a casual trip from A to B to go see your friends on Proxima Centauri, that ain't going to work. It does need to be one of these sorts of technologies figured out. So I think it's got to be in those sort of ranges. For it there. And Pepper, I've always seen portals referred to as terrestrial. I'm curious if you've ever seen evidence of them in the sky. So I haven't, not that I'm aware of as well. So that I've got to admit, when it comes down to the warp drive, the interesting thing about that is because it's so localized, it's the object itself is where you see the effects of it, because what it's doing is creating a bubble of universe around itself. So that bubble, and because it's a gravity bubble essentially, that then gravity bends light, so what you see is the same object but distorted, and the light is shifted. So it's very subtle weirdnesses, which might be why we can't get decent photos, because it literally blurs the bloody thing half the time. So it's little subtle things like that, but it's very, very localized, so I don't think we'd see necessarily that effect. But there probably are other ways of measuring this, these sorts of things going off. I know some people are doing some interesting words at work in the magnetic field changes and being able to detect subtle changes, which might be clues to this. So it's an interesting area, but I think it's a new area for us. As technology is becoming more available to us, lay people on the street, we're getting to experiment more. We don't have to rely on the big budget scientists there. UFOs use interdimensional engines. They use stars, which are fifth dimensional portals to get from solar system. Oh, I remember you saying something about the stars. Yeah, fifth dimensional portal. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of necessarily, the dimension, as you would see that, well, I'm going to step into this other dimension and step out of it there, because as we've said, dimensions aren't other places. They are the same place, but in a different way. But that other different way could be, again, a way of getting across. Oh god, I'm not doing a justification of the word there, but it could be an interesting angle, Andrew, for that one. And they say aerospace tech is 50 years in front of what we know. Rich, they could well be the case. I think it very easily though gets to be a bit of a gap of the gods argument there, oh well, it's down to the gods, because it's an unknown, the big questionable military thing. I think the military are definitely quite far ahead with a lot of things. Let me just turn the tracker off. I'm going to spin the camera around. But there are certain things you just can't do in a vacuum. So take, for example, hold chat, spin the camera, AI. AI isn't something that one clever man or woman can make on their own in a shed in the middle of nowhere, not talking to anybody else. You've got to write the code, but AI to work, it needs information. It needs all of our data. AI wouldn't have existed 10, 15 years ago because there wasn't the data to train it on. It needed us to put all that information into social media, to write all those Reddit articles, to upload all those YouTube videos, to then train the AI. That's how it's got so good. So, the government couldn't have done it 50 years ago. They didn't have the data, at the very least, to train it on. Same like something like YouTube. YouTube couldn't have existed in the 90s because we needed everybody to get a decent enough internet connection at a cheap enough price to transfer video files, basically, over the distances. So some things you can't do in a vacuum there, but can they take, say, a fighter jet and make it twice as invisible to radar than it was previously and twice as fast as it was, 100%? That they're doing those things. That is clever people in a shed in the desert away from prying eyes. But these different jumps, it's really weird. The only exception could be different physics, because there is a little bit of an indicator there that basically all the mainstream scientific community in the 50s, they were really into anti-gravity technology. They were very public about it. They felt that the crack of the next generation is going to be all this anti-gravity stuff. It's on the horizon, guys. We're going to fly in cars next week. It was very, very public, very, very open. Then all of a sudden, silence, very suddenly silent. It wasn't that, that experiment failed, as normally, people kind of come away from it the less evidence there is from theories. No, this was just a hard stop publicly for this sort of discussion. But what did happen is they got very interested in the precursor to string theory. I can't remember what it is now, but it's now become string theory. And there is a very interesting argument to be made that what happened was some of those researchers got very close to the anti-gravity stuff, may have cracked it, which is counter our understanding of physics currently. But what that happened is that they felt it was so dangerous, they classified it. They classified a whole section of science, and they gave some public scientists string theory, knowing that they would just be working on that problem endlessly and never giving up with it there, because it's very fancy maths. And what do fancy theoretical physicists love? They like wanky maths, and they like to come up with a better theory there. So they've essentially given them the ultimate chew toy to fuck around with. And if you look at what it's done, I mean, string theory as well, it's unprovable, so then that's immediately countering the scientific principle of measurement. It hasn't really produced anything. It's definitely not proved itself. It's such a strange beast to be looking at there. So there's a good argument that maybe they did have that, so that maybe they can be incredibly far ahead because they've gone on that totally separate trajectory with it. So the stars themselves are portals. Apparently, that's a theory. I don't know much on that one. Only Andrew's mentioned that one, so I'll have to... Is there any good places to look on? Has it got a name, that sort of theory, Andrew, that we can Google and have a look more in there? Oh, and Amanda, good spot in there. Sorry, I missed that one. Emilio, the government... Oh, where's it gone? Sorry, guys. The government can no longer ignore this. After all, everyone has a well-functioning mobile phone with a good camera, and that is the advantage. Now, bang on the money now. We are just more capable of catching these things. We're paying more attention to it. There's going to be more. We can share it more. Bang on. And Tom, if you bring in the air traffic via RF USB dongle, then there is a zero lag. Oh, and if you take the stream from Flight Radar, then you're... Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be lag on the old the Fredder there. Oh, yeah, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, so was it picking up on their beacons then, locally? Is that how it's working? That is pretty cool. Wouldn't have even crossed my mind. But bang on, we'll have to try that one. And a retrospective as well there. None of those would be necessary if they had easy access to portals and implied distances. Their machines render distances irrelevant. Quite possibly. I mean, we just have to look in the little we understand of quantum physics. You know, it does look like in that world, distance does mean shit. You know, hard for us to get a thing, but literally the dimension, that's what dimensions means. You know, it's distance forward to backwards, distance to up and down, distance to left and right. These are those dimensions, the spatial dimensions there. So maybe there is one that is kind of the reverse of that. You know, it makes it closer rather than spreading it out. So bang on. And Rich as well, it was hovering for about 10 minutes and then it flew off there. And why I thought it was a chopper. Bang, yeah. See, a lot of the stuff there is that... What made you look at it? And was it the movement itself that triggered you to look at it, or was it, you know, how did you know it was anomalous? Is it just, oh, it's a bright light in the sky, I think it's a helicopter, and then that's drew your eye to it? And what I mostly record and share are the UFOs traversing time, going forward in time and to the present time, using their interdimensional engines and living life. I think almost anything can be a portal if you give it your full undivided attention. The moment you stop seeing an object as a thing and start seeing it as a vessel, it becomes a portal. Oh, interesting angle on that one, Living Light. Let me think about that, because it's touch. I don't know what, but that's kind of touching on something I must have heard previously, because I'm going, oh, there's something to that. I don't understand, but there's something to that. That's, yeah, I'm going to have to think on that one. And I've seen a tech and spec and magnetic fields which can change a local gravity to travel without friction. I've heard of similar things around that sort of, but a lot of it's beyond my to understand it myself. But I have heard similar things, especially the magnetic fields. The amount of exotic black engineered craft, for example, Lockheed Martin and Tic Tac copy, aliens doesn't equal UFO. So that's an interesting point, Retro, there. That, you know, the whole reverse engineering angle on this, you know, like, it's not just the UFOs and us. There is this middle ground of us attempting their technology, potentially, you know, the reverse engineered craft. Oh, how do you feel on that being UFO? Because technically, I still put that in the category of UFO. I would be just as psyched to see the TR-3B just hovering over the big black triangle. But how about you? And Jeffro, what is the latest you have stayed up watching out for anomalies? Probably about, I think I did 4 or 5 a.m. UK time at one point for that. Where are we? Down there as well. And Andrew, the direction they spiral is to enter or exit the dimension, exiting clockwise, entering anti-clockwise. That's all I know. Interesting on that one. I need to look more into it. And my theory, maybe, are no other dimensions they live in. They link via portal their location to ours, so it appears that they just come right in and right out the wall. Yeah, so I think we're trying to apply our 3 dimensions and how that works to anticipate what another dimension might. So that's why we think of it as going in and out of something. But I think you're quite right. It's going to just appear and not appear. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big swirly door, does it? So I think you're probably going to be quite close to it like that with that, Tom. And right, we've been nudged ever so subtly, and sometimes not. Where did we get to? With magnetic drives, it uses the OHICS we know today, and yet breaks it as way beyond light speed. Really? I don't think I've heard generally in the magnetics might be a way to look, but I've not heard of that one. Their technology allows them to traverse solid objects and no portal needed. And I was told that there's a lot of room in what we call a solid. No, you're totally right with that. You know, we perceive ourselves as solid objects, but that is not actually true. That's just a product of our experience. You know, there's more gaps, isn't there, between the atoms than there is. So, you know, it's synchronized. That could be more than possible. Brilliant take. I think some of these ones have been very, very good tonight, haven't they? Retro. And same as the multi and the quantumverse there. I'm not a big one on the multiverse. I think I don't have the idea that every decision results in another branch of string. I don't think that's going to be quite right. Where I would lean would be that all of those possibilities have always existed and always will exist, and in the past and the present. You know, we just experience it going through time from our particular course through it, but all of the variations already exist. So like when I decided, am I going to wear my Skywatcher t-shirt, or am I going to wear my UFO signal hunter t-shirt tonight? There's a version of me that wore that one, and the version of me that wore this one. That one was always there. It's not that I made the decision to and then created it when it went off in that path. That it was just always there, and that my consciousness navigated through this version of it. Total butchered that one, but I think it's probably there. And string theory was completely made up by Michio Kaku for this thesis. A boomer astrophysicist who talks like he's stoned out of his mind. He does a bit. Was it related to that? I know it all started around the Chapel Hill conference, and it was a version of. I can't remember what it was called, but it later become, what we know as string theory today. And I think aliens would only need to be 200 years in advanced tech to not be seen. But I don't think Area 51, they wouldn't tell us if the Tic Tacs were seen. Also, we see, are they anyway? They wouldn't. You're right there, John. But yeah, they probably don't have to be that far advanced, especially with the progression rate. It's an exponential growth, isn't it? Top weather beings, I know lots that isn't public and don't share because it's far out there and people are not ready to hear. That's a very good point, though. Being ready to hear these things. But there's so many things just outside of the UFO world, like so personal development, things I'm trying to get better as being a person, as being a partner, as being a friend, an employee, all the things I'm trying to improve on. There are so many little catchphrases that you hear and you go, yeah, I know the words, makes sense, but it doesn't click. And then you have to kind of learn a bit of a lesson. You go, oh, shit, I totally know what you mean now. And it engages. And I think, we do need to be ready to hear certain things. An RF USB dongle. Typically, the RTLSDR picks up local aircraft via ADSB modem. Aircraft continuously broadcast their position, altitude. Actually, Tom, I've got two of them lying around. I have actually got two of those lying around. So, yes, because we use one we've got plugged in at the minute for our SETI stream, but I've got another spare one. Yeah, so in theory, I could have a look into doing that. Yes, good shout there. Where are we? Awesome calling, Mork. Come in, Mork. Come in, Alan. How are you doing? This is public / unencrypted data for air traffic control, collision avoidance, and TCAS. That's it, yeah. The ones they turn on their transponders and stuff, isn't it? Exotic is exotic. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, yeah. Very interesting, no matter who owns it. I think so. Like, okay, it might not be ET flying it, but if it is the reverse engineered TR-3B, there ain't no way they've made that themselves. That's got to mean that there is aliens out there as well. You're seeing the alien technology. For me, it's still pretty much direct evidence. It's still very interesting. Who owns it? Bang on. Why UFO? Why do UFOs have lights there? You don't want lights on aircraft at night. Well, you see, you do have lights on aircraft at night, don't you? You have the warning of the signal lights, didn't you? So people know where they are, even though they're not meant to be flying close by. But might actually not be a choice. It might be more like bioluminescence. It might be a byproduct, or in the same way that our jet fighters, their jet engines make a lot of noise. There is a good argument to be made that maybe... Oh, no, I've not got the tracker on. Sorry, guys. In fact, let me move the camera around slightly and then we'll put the tracker back onto a darker patch of sky. Jaws home. But yeah, maybe it could be how the craft operate there. There are lots of reports of the craft, ionizing plasma as part of their warp bubble, and ionized plasma glows a brilliant bright red. So maybe it's like a byproduct of their propulsion in the same way that we have noise and sound. And my friend filmed a blue orb on an iPhone about 50 foot away, and you could see inside the orb. The core is a white light the size of your big thumb, and the blue around it is electrostatic energy. Very, very interesting. I do think that there is a chance that a lot of the orb ones, so a lot of the sightings that we see, could be the sentient plasma, the plasmoid. So basically a form of sentient life that's been here the whole time on Earth, but we have only just started to take it seriously, as a potential form of life. Lots of it does display intelligent behavior, or it could be the product of a high dimensional object interacting in the 3 dimension. We're seeing its shadow but not the real thing because we can't perceive those higher dimensions as humans. Is there a chance that the anomalies are part of quantum entanglement? Well, there is a chance, because this is the thing when it comes to quantum stuff. If you say you understand quantum physics, you don't understand quantum physics. It's still so much unknown with it there, you know. So there is definitely space within there for all of these things. In fact, that might be the territory of how these things work when we understand it fully. And all the heavies flying over the pond hit us first. Possibly with it, and much of what has been told by experimenters is censored or manipulated. Most of these beings do come from other planets, but from another level of existence. Exactly, I like that, Andrew, because a lot of the time we'll find a good theory, won't we? And we'll go, right, this is the right one, that's the right one. We definitely get lots of people coming and go, boom, it's all interdimensional. Boom, it's all aliens and demons. Boom, it's all ET coming from Alpha Centauri. Boom, it's all the military. But why not a mixture of those things, and why not two at the same time? Why can't we get higher dimensional beings coming from other planets? You know, maybe that to evolve somewhere out, maybe they didn't. You know, there can be a mixture of these things. The amount that we do know for sure is an absolute minimum, and I think, you know, there was a good argument that maybe one theory would account for a lot of it, but this is such a strange phenomenon with so many different flavors and shades to it. You know, why does it have to be just one thing there? And again, the chances that we, as any of us as individuals or even as groups, are going to be able to understand this fully is probably quite limited. You know, we have limited processing power in our brains. We are the product of our education, our experience, our lives. So we're all going to be, you know, perfectly fallible, even when we're working together as groups. There. Was it a 1, 2, 4, 500? What was that for, Alan? And Ross confirmed without a doubt that Lockheed has his TikTok thoughts. I don't know. I don't have any special information there. If it's talking about the speeds that the Tic Tac, you know, if the Tic Tac, if the speeds are correct of what they were reported around that one, how fast it was moving, and then appearing at cap points, then I wouldn't have said that. I don't naturally lean that way, but I don't have a lot of information on it there for it there. But it could be possible for it. But John does. John. What's his name? Ross is very good, does a lot of good work there, but a few things he does say with a lot of confidence, and I do go, really? With that, but again, he's got more contacts than me. Who am I to say for a lot of these things there? I'm just a guy in a green room there. The next Heart Bell, John, that would be very big boots to fill. But I do miss art. There's a lot of good people out there doing a lot of good content now, bringing a lot of really interesting stories. I'm not a journalist. I ain't got those skills. I can't do the detail on these things. I'm good at generalization, seeing a pattern, but not the specifics. But what I miss most about Art Bell, even though there are similar-esque shows, none of them capture the late night radio chill vibe of people. You know, there's something about that, and I would love to try and find a way of bringing that back. I wouldn't be skilled enough for it, but that is what I miss. Everything we have has been retromade from stuff that was hundreds of years old. Everything? Oh, as in like the reverse engineer stuff has all been reversed from that. And oh, the SR-71, what a great plane, and that's 1950s. That is true there. Very good stuff. Head there, living like UFOs traveling. I could imagine the frequency of an object is different, depends on its location. So if you manipulate the frequency, you could appear here and there without any time delay. That sounds about right. There's so much to explore of what's possible. And the end of the book with the Russian Roswell story is very interesting. Oh, what's the Russian Roswell one? I've heard some interesting stuff from the Russian things. I've got to think of the stuff that we're not getting to hear as well there. And we are the aliens. Again, possible. You could make a very interesting argument for that being exactly the case. Very interesting. I do think life did not start here on Earth. I'm very, very convinced that could be the case. Not quite sure on at what level life arrived here. Maybe like bacterial in a more simple sense, or maybe it was much more complex there. I mean, I just don't have the information. Jeff as well, I don't feel like an alien. That's exactly what every alien says. And would you think that we were the only civilization that has been on Earth in the whole time we've been here? I think we're more than the third time. You know what, TR? I think there is the gaps in our understanding for that to be more than possible. So I would lean that is going to be more than likely. I don't think we know for sure, but I think that, for me, it would seem more obvious that if you look at the amount of time that we've been here, you look at what are the ingredients for civilizations. Good weather means food, means people can build shit, right? That has happened many times within our existence. That we've been around. The Earth has been suitable for that. So why wouldn't there have been more civilizations? I feel like that's where the onus should be on proving that there was the reason why not. And maybe there is. Maybe our modern civilization perfectly relies on, modern day agriculture, which, you know, comes from post ice age, you know, crop development and stuff, blah blah blah. Again, that's not a slam dunk, but maybe there is a specific that does allow for it. But until we have that specific, I would default to many past civilizations. They're to various degrees. And as you say, quantum in front of any word there, shit goes right over everyone's head there, and people in the room think you're the smartest person. Yeah, you know, I'm going to have to start throwing it around a lot more, Tom. I think you're bang on with that one. I'm going to start throwing it around at work, so if I get a promotion. We are all the aliens, correct? I think panspermia has got a lot more to play than we give it credit for, as well. They use probes to go to locations before they traverse time and space. They like using the sky because there's less radiation causing damage. Interesting. I mean, probes make sense. We all have alien DNA. I mean, we've DNA is an interesting one. It's one that is it Watson and Crick that was talking, that discovered DNA, or, you know, the double helix? They were the ones that kind of cracked that, or decoded it, or whatever it was. And one of them, a Nobel Prize winning obviously for that, one of them, but it thought that, you know, we were made by aliens, basically. That was what he came out with. So immediately Nobel Prize, and then pushed to the sides for that one. Process of evolution is much different to what we are dead to believe. Bang on, bang on. We tend to think that we base ourselves on Darwin's evolutional theories. But what we have now is more like neo-Darwinism. You know, it's very strict to the, you know, reproduce, pass on the genes. But Darwin himself thought that there could be a more active component. Those genes could be changed during life and because of experiences, which is actually kind of where the research is looking now. The problem is science kind of gets a good theory, and then the simplified kid version gets passed around to the rest of the scientific community, and then it's just bleated on forevermore. And we never actually get a more accurate truth around a lot of the stuff. And I posted my footage and close-ups in Discord. Oh, I'd love to see those with Retro. Thank you for that. And I've had several encounters that have lasted over an hour. I sat in my dog and filmed. I don't want to see too much here, but it's a reel with a metadata. Interesting. Oh, thank you for sharing that. And again, without being connected, without these amazing platforms tonight, we wouldn't have been able to hear and to be able to see those. So I'm looking forward to seeing them over on the Discord. Our DNA and individual fingerprints show how detailed humans are. And people think we would be boring to aliens. I don't think. I think exactly. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, we're interested in fucking ants still, aren't we? So I think they'd be definitely interested in us. Got 60 gigabyte of old art belt shows on HD. Oh, Doug, you know what? I need to. That sounds like a good idea, because I always end up trying to find them, and there's so many different versions. I end up hearing the same one in a row over on YouTube. Oh, where are we there? Question is, why are we here? Maybe there isn't so much of a why. You know, maybe that implies a conscious purpose. Maybe it's just one of the things that happens, you know? Like radiation heats shit up, you know, and gravity attracts objects. Maybe life propagates. Bell and other places are being found that are giving us a history which we never knew, and it didn't start here. I'm a big fan of that. I'm very open as well to Mars being a lot more responsible for things. And there is no way we defo came from the water after a massive radiation event. Interesting, Alan, for that one. But there have been historically massive radiation events as well. And Pepper there, what are your thoughts on cryptids there? I've seen some interesting theories on them being alien encounters, and it's their attempt at taking forms that we might understand, but they can't get them quite right. It could well be. I mean, cryptids I'm very interested in as well, but I mean, it might, again, we always put the onus on the alien, don't we, or the phenomena as why it's weird and why that. But maybe it's more to do with our psychology. This is the most overlooked part of what we're doing. It's our psychology, it's sociology, it's neurology as well, how our brains work, how they perceive things, how they process that data, how they store it, how they understand it. So it's like people talk about the observer effect, not the observer effect, sorry, the hitchhiker effect, you know, with you see something, then the phenomena can follow you home and things like that. Why does the phenomena, two people will see the same event, but it will look different for the both of them? That's perfectly explained by how our brains work. Because we don't see objective reality, we are always passing what we see through a filter. Is it this thing? Is it this thing? Is it this thing? Not what is it? It works the other way around. Is it this thing? Is it this thing? So your brain is going to latch onto the closest fit first, and due to your independent experiences versus the next person, you can see things slightly different. So maybe with cryptids as well, you're seeing something and you're trying to overlay it. So you imagine like a caveman, right? That comes across a just a grey alien, right? They're going to go, they're not going to think, they've got no concept of the stars and planets and other life developing outside of them. So they're going to go, what does that looking like? Okay, right, maybe it's a smaller human. They're going to try and attach it to what does the closest thing. So maybe rather than, okay, I'm seeing an alien that's trying to morph into a big leopard, maybe what I'm seeing is an alien, and because my brain doesn't want to just see something totally fresh, totally new, totally what it is, it's trying to go, is it this, is it that, is it this, is it that? It's going to go, it's kind of leopard-like. Maybe we're seeing a leopard, but it's not quite right. So maybe something like that. Centre Core. What's Centre Core? Is that like Centre Parks there? Oh, due south now on Capricorn is the green comet with a tail like Saturn. Oh my god, I wish I had a telescope to see that. We haven't actually caught a comet on stream, on this stream, sadly. They've always been cloudy when they pass by it. Stuff has gone crazy in the solar system in the last 12 months, and nobody's talking about it. Has it really from a baseline, or is it more that we're getting more measurements there? Because that's the other thing. A lot of the times that we hear a lot more, and then if you actually go back and you look at the details, you go, well, it's no more than naught. And I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I think it's that observation bias we need to consider. Is it rare, or is it just that, oh, we actually have got now more sensors, so now we're seeing more, and it may have always been the same amount, but not necessarily. But I think it's something that we need to consider too. And there's an interesting thought, though. What would make sense why cryptids are very so much culture to culture? It's the same groups of people, or just different groups of people trying to understand the same object through different things. Like religions are very interesting. I did not realise how close a lot of religions are. Like how close a lot of them are. And again, it's not that they're like exact matches, but it kind of makes sense. It's people trying to interpret the best way to interact and to function in the world based on their experiences. Slightly different environments, slightly different needs. The same could be true. And we have been here for 240-ish since 2040-ish. It's nothing. Oh, it's a dot, isn't it? And we could be here a lot longer. The way they actually, date humanity is again, it's very imperfect. Our collective we can tune into. I haven't heard of that one now. We are not, not we, but our gods have. Could be. Little G God with it there. Right, I'm going to quickly pop back over to the TikTok, because I've been seeing that one going off, and I need to catch up to key where you are. See where we got to, guys. I'm across both streams, both chats tonight, so I read through one, then go through the other. Where are we? In here, did we get to that one? Around here, didn't we? I'll catch you later, Dordor. There, thank you for joining us there. And probably the simulation trying to keep up there, causing everybody getting out to do things. Well, actually, that could be an interesting part of it to consider. Simulation theories do make an interesting case. Got a warp drive in my shed there, just not enough energy to power it there. Same old story. Exactly. We've all got that. I go cheap on eBay. Nobody can run them. And King of Scotland, how are you there? Oh, I run a UFO ADP, brilliant for catching UFO. Literally, we've got a chap in now over on the YouTube talking about the UFO DAP, and I didn't realise you didn't have to buy the full rig. You can just get the software and put your own cameras and stuff to it. So bang on, we are doing that, King of Rich. So yeah, and you've caught some really interesting stuff. I like that. What's the best thing you've caught there? And be there. Are you able to watch the video live so I can see your reaction? Let me have a look. I don't normally. I won't be able to bring it up on screen, but since we're getting towards the end of things, let's see if I can. If you're still there. Oh wait, no, it's on TikTok, isn't it? Sorry, because I'm very old man when it comes to technology, so it'll take me about 5 minutes to find my way through. On that one. Right, let's have a look. Looking like some sky, I feel. Oh, fuck. Oh, right. Oh, that's the laser you're flashing. Fuck, thought the green was part of that. You got to check this out, guys. We need to post this on our Discord so the rest of the community can see this, because this is cool. Actually, I don't think it'll be too long to post, and that's a shame. I'm going to reshare it, so guys, if you want to check it out on our TikTok, I'm just reposting the video now. So is the white light what you were seeing, and then the green light was your laser to communicate with it? I don't know. Like, unless there was some sort of live music event just over the horizon and they were shining their lights up to the clouds. That is, even then though, there's not the beam of light. That is very strange. I'm going to have to... Yeah, that's... Okay, so this... Yeah, that's one of the best footage I think I've seen there. That is very... Thank you for sending that one in. That is... yeah, like unless there's like a festival just over the hill that's intermittently blasting a light show just in white, that is very, very interesting. No... And what are you using there? So at the minute we are using just a digital camera out in the garden, very long HDMI lead, and we use our own software that we've built to track the moving objects in there. That's why it's a bit janky. Hopefully you're still in though, because I'm just getting to it now. Adam is in. How are you doing there? And King of Scotland, thank you for the follow. I would ask you where you're from, but Scotland, I'm assuming. What's the best thing you've captured there? Thank you, Kate, for that. And LJ there, I just had a bat come out of my ceiling and now it's flying around my room. I'll be back, LJ. How very goth. And GG as well there, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? X is in. Oh, you sent us the link, didn't you? Thank you for the gift there. You sent us the link, didn't you, for the was it the UAP D whatever it was, be there. Well, good spotting there, Amanda and Lethal there. And Sean there, not me. They are us from the future. That for me is going to be, is where if I had to put money, I would say a very large proportion of the phenomena is just that. You know, it is us from, for the future. There's just too many coincidences for that there. And Sean there, we find anything new and we experiment there. Bang on. And they apparently do the same. And there are so many similarities. I think it's far beyond chance for that for not be out there. We're up late. We are there, X. We are. SG as well, thank you for the follow there. I've just tagged you in a little people caught on camera. See if I can get that one. I've got my TikTok open now, so let's have a quick see if I can check out for that one. X, where are we? It's not working. Oh, it says this. The story's under it. Okay, let's search in there. Okay. Right, I'm just gonna tag bookmark the image, and therefore I'll be able to find him. Yeah, thank you there, X. If little people caught on camera? Wait a minute. No, tag, not message. Let's have a look. Oh, I can't see that one, X. Unless it was from that guy, because the message wasn't displayed. Right, there we go. Where are we? Back over to the tubes. Yes, it's not right there. Do you ever feel like you're having a quiet conversation with space or something invisible? I don't. I don't even use like the old, the voice commanded Amazon products. Hey, so and so, order me this or play this song. I don't like talking out loud there for those things. So we need glasses that can see in all spectrums. That would be a game changer. This camera can, with adjustments, see both ultraviolet and infrared, and because we know the infrared light spectrum is apparently very, very active for the phenomena. So that's been a long time goal for us, but it's it's taken us a while to save up to get there. But I think that would be a game changer. Excuse me. We could see so much more in the night sky. It's an interesting thought there. We would make sense into a cryptid. I think so. And we've been... No, oh my God, how do I... I've done those ones, so why am I down in the chat? And yeah, we need a camera like the Connect there, similar to the ghost hunting ones there, that makes the invisible visible, living light. So yeah, well that's essentially, it's a kind of a right. It uses light, structured light, doesn't it? So it's kind of like a version of radar in a very simplified sense to doing that. Yeah, I mean there might be ways of doing it now. I mean we're emitting so many radio waves with our all of our technology now. Again, we're only talking, Wi-Fi and stuff that's very low powered, but they're talking about passive radars, being able to use that. So maybe there is ways of kind of being able to do something along those lines there. You never know what they are putting in front of us. Well, that's a very good point there. And my favourite book I've ever read, front to back, 300 pages long, is a UFO storybook. They're so interesting and detailed stories. It's called The World's Greatest UFO Mysteries. It explains everything about life. Interesting. I said I'm going through the books at the minute from the 60s that about the phenomena that happened in this little village, and it's the later books where I started. That was when we started to put our interpretation on it, what we thought was happening. And again, that's always going to be probably unlikely to be 100% true. So I was like, I'm not necessarily on some of these ones, but reading the earlier books, right, which was literally just documenting what people saw, was so fascinating, because it's that there's no reason to not believe when there's 4 different people unconnected across town seeing the same thing at the same time. Don't know what the fucking thing was, but and they're just keeping it very simple. They're not trying to interpret it. They're not just saying it's aliens. They're just going, I'm seeing, and that is why we are called The Thing, because the events that happened in this town, people didn't know really what they are. Eventually got the alien label, but it's called The Thing because it's The Thing's happening again. Have you seen The Thing? Because they didn't know what to call it, and it's quite good because it was a fresh thing. They wasn't putting as much bias on it, and it also had very many different ways of forming. It wasn't just a saucer in the sky. I said, no, we will only listen to humans who will follow the prophet, and we'll send to show you the correct ways. And what's that one? Prometheus. Oh yes, that is probably the best out of all of the films, I think. Prometheus is a banging film there. And do you ever read the UFO Data magazine? I didn't even know it's a thing there, Ickle. I didn't even know it's a thing. I would love to though. And 1990 Sunbird there. Hello from Canada. Good to have you in. I don't think we get many in from Canada. Good to have you there. Or have you ever seen anything strange? You've got some fantastic landscapes out there. Have you ever experienced anything strange? Was it Sag Harbor? That was a Canadian UFO incident, I think, there. Still, I want to know why the FBI never gave back all the crates after Tesla died there. They kept 6 crates. What was in them? Well, exactly. I mean, also, bureaucracy is all for keeping track of things. That's a nice one.
Zoom mode activated.
Nice big and bright object there. It didn't do anything strange necessarily though, but still quite interesting. Something to do with energy that we weren't allowed to know. Quite possible there. And that again was about the time, or around the anti-gravity time in physics, when they quietened it all up there. So, free energy, no profit. But also, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, right? Because we all go, fucking oil companies hiding the free energy from us, making us pay for everything, right? Which, yeah, definitely a pain in the arse. But also, free energy is dangerous. Because free energy means free boom. And means a bigger boom. Like that. If free energy, that's what energy is. It can be used for good and bad. So it can also be dangerous. So part of me is like, maybe you don't want to give somebody infinite energy in their home, because we've still got a lot of people out here that got a lot of problems with each other, and they could go boom in many ways. And Rando there, thank you for that. How are you doing? Free energy. I think humans are the only species who actually pay for pay to live on Earth. Well, we pay in money, don't we? But in nature, there wasn't a utopia. We like to think, especially with our modern day understandings of all of this, of the world and what's going on. We like to we think, don't we, that just bad people have come along and put these shackles on us, and to a degree that has happened. But also, you didn't have to pay money for energy, but you had to go out and collect your firewood. And that took you time. And then if it was raining, your firewood was damp, and you didn't get a fire that night. So I don't think it's as bad as people think. Not that there is a good part to it. we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And Tesla had it all worked out there, and he knew it could kill millions if not used. But see, this is the thing, there's always the good and the bad to these things. And, nuclear energy, nuclear bombs, same thing. Not literally the same, but the same technological exploration that reveals both. So until we get responsible enough, we have to earn it. If I can't walk, don't give me a driver's license. I need to learn about spatial awareness and balance before I could then get into a car and drive around, we've got to get the skills to handle all of these things as well. And wasn't their coins of sorts chucked on an island, and they became trading with it? But even cavemen would trade shells and stuff between species as well. Neanderthal and what's the other, Denisovans. They found different layers of the same cage of occupation, and each different version of sapien there was still trading the same shells. It's really, really weird. So there's always been this sort of thing, within us. There is a good part. We started off obviously with bartering and things like that, but some days I don't want 12 goats. What I want is 12 pigs. So this is our human interpretation of doing it. Obviously it goes wrong. It gets corrupted, it gets abused. That is obviously the case. It's not perfect, but I don't think we should be throwing the whole thing away. I'm going to quickly bounce back over to the TikToks. Where did we get it to there? E-mates as well, thank you for the gift, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Amanda NX2 and just post it for to the stories. Oh, all right, I have to check that one out there. Thank you, X. And is that Sharon there as well? There, cattle can't spell there. No worries there. Experiments there. Where are we? Where's the other bit? They apparently did the experiments. Yeah, I think it makes sense. We don't do things. We do things for reasons. We are the products of our environment. We've learned our skills and our temperaments and behaviours because we are who we are. And if we look to ET extraterrestrials, they take the stories as true. For example, like the Greys, well, they look like us. So if they're not directly linked to us or us in the future or cousins or whatever it may be, and they are proper extraterrestrials, it's convergent evolution, then they would have had to have had the same upbringing as us. We have hands, fingers, toes, all the complexity of us, because we had to compete ever increasingly for food and resources and survival and shelter from other organisms and our own species on the planet. If we didn't have that element of competition, we would be gelatinous blobs just absorbing sunlight all the time, not having to do anything or worry. It was that element of competition that made us evolve to be, more complex. So, that if they are as complex as they look to be, people report, then maybe they would have had to have competition too. So maybe they have other traits of us as well, the same curiosity and things like that. Oh, do you film in infrared? We don't at the minute. We want to. We've got some infrared night vision goggles, but they're just not very good to bring up. They're quite zoomed in, a bit lower quality, but it is on our to-do list, but we're got to save up to get there. Thank you, Mates, as well, for the follow. Good to have you in there. And is that McCoy as well? They're from Orkney. Oh, I do like a bit of Orkney there. Good to have you in. I bet you have incredible skies there with so little light pollution. Have you ever seen anything strange up that way there? He was born on the 10th of July there. Well, what day is it today there? Oh, 9 days ago. Well, happy birthday for 9 days ago. Always loved Tesla. So it was the thing. Was that his death day or his birthday? I don't remember. Tesla is so interesting. It may have been a different direction. It might not have been necessarily more advanced, although I do think it would have been one way, but it might have just been a technical, that diversion of a slight different technology there. Maybe an alternate universe where we went down that road there. Some of it, what was it, The Illusionist? Was it that film that had David Bowie playing Tesla in it there? That was so well represented in that. Every conflict we have been through, we have come out the end with more advanced technology, MRI, advanced ultrasound lasers. What will be next? Exactly, it's the pressure of that and a lot of the time it's, well, why don't we spend the money we spend on militaries on healthcare, on space travel, on science and all this sort of stuff there like that? But it just don't work like that. If we suddenly disarmed, well, then there's always going to be a bad guy. And you kind of always want there to be the possibility of a bad guy as well, because the only alternative is that you're so strict that you just don't allow anybody who thinks or acts any differently from you to exist. And then what happens there? You get a very strict authoritarian state. That's the only way that you don't need a gun, is if you've eliminated all of the people on the other side, which is an interesting argument for the phenomena. You know, like when you do get that far advanced and you have that level of technology, therefore, you know, you've got that energy. Well, first of all, what that does is it equalizes the experience for all of your civilization there. You know, all of those differences that we have, you know, geographical differences, all the technological resource differences can be equalized through the abundance of free energy. So everybody will then probably start to look the same. They'd all start to think the same as well, because there's no need to think any differently, because you're all having the same experience. And that's what our different temperaments are, our different psychologies are all an evolutionary roll of the dice in a software sense to adapt to all of our unique environments, because the Earth is still very, very diverse for those sorts of things. So you'd immediately have people experiencing the same thing and being equalized and homogenized on that front. But then you would also have that energy that has that ability. So if they weren't homogenized, then they could all blow each other up over their disagreements. So you kind of has to go hand in hand. What we probably have to do is end up in a totally dystopian future with everybody thinking the same thing, looking the same, and doing the same. And that's when we can have the free energy, because that's when we're not going to use it to blow each other up. Just send your footage to Discord. Thank you, Retro. I'm so looking forward to checking all those ones out. I've had a few good submissions tonight there. Oh, and the illusion, can we see it on YouTube, Retro? So yeah, is there a link? If there is, put it in there for that one. And John, I have had a theory about solar technology for a while. If we ask for more sunlight, maybe the sun will give us more, as we are harvesting it so well and absorbing it as cannot be tested either. But the idea that there may be a consciousness to the sun, that touches into the old panpsychism, is it? Panpsyism? The idea that, you know, this is not the case, but as a very rough understanding, could butcher it, you know, that consciousness is associated with mass. So the more mass something has, maybe the more consciousness. So the sun wouldn't necessarily have the same experience of the universe as us, but it could still have some level of control, perception and interaction. You know, there've been cases where they have said, look, maybe this is the sun communicating to other stars, doing this and doing that. So maybe there could be something like that. Oh, A4 had a fast minute. Damn it, A4, that was down there. I'll have to see if we can, I've clipped it, so hopefully we can see if we can spot it there. Hey, you guys, got any sightings tonight there? We've had a few interesting angles on things, but nothing major other than TF's fast move there, which I totally missed there. It's not for YouTube, just for us, guys. So you'll have to check it out on the Discord if you want to see that one there. So link in bio for that one. Loads of cool things in there, not just stream updates. Monthly Alien Movie Club is pretty cool. That'll be the end of the month. Last Friday of the month, we're going to sit down and watch that before the main stream there. And you're welcome to join, even as a lurker. Warning, though, the conversation does get slightly unhinged. Alan's nipples come into conversation quite often. There. Autocorrect. No worries there. No worries. That one. Oh, God, I've just noticed the fucking time. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to come off. I've been on a little bit later than I should. I'm trying to be a better boy of my time, but I'm getting much worse at it. Make sure you're following and subscribed wherever you are, because we'll be on tomorrow. It's looking like a clear sky again, so it should be Skywatch time. So make sure you're following, subscribed. Hopefully we'll see you all then. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your experiences too there, and your thoughts, just keeping me company as well. And even if you're just hanging out quietly in the background, falling to sleep to it again, I do appreciate you all. Just I was a strange man in a green room every night there, so I do appreciate you there. If you've been tapping away, sharing, liking, all that stuff, helping us build a community, thank you for that one. We appreciate it. Mods too, thank you for doing all your work, keeping us all in line and pressing the grid buttons and whatnot there. Do appreciate that too. And again, gifters, subbers, members, subscribers, merch buyers, extra love there, because it helps us to do all this stuff and upgrade all of the things there. So we do appreciate that as well. And you know what, Living Light, I would love to see that as well, see how the tracking software, so hopefully we'll get one. They are incredibly rare, but you never know, we might get lucky. I'm feeling very good about the end of July and August, so tune in, guys, for those. But yeah, thank you again, and we'll see you all tomorrow night there for some sightings. Bye bye.